Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Aso, this is Aso Tarot, and I hope you're hungry because in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be looking at how your crush or crushes see you, and it is going to be very in-depth and juicy. So what we're going to do is look at how you are seeing your crush first to make sure you found the right pile, and then we'll see how your crush is viewing you and what you need to know about that, and then we will get some channeled messages from them and finish off with some advice. But if you finish this reading and it resonates, but you're still hungry for seconds, there will be an extended linked down below where we are going to look at what is the truth of this connection and this crush so that we can understand more about why you're drawn to this person and what you need to know about that. I have a feeling Spirit is going to spill a lot of tea. We're also going to look at what action you're being guided to take towards the connection. We'll get further channel messages from your person or Spirit depending on what we find and what I think is best, and we'll finish off with more advice. Now, that's not even the best part. This reading is also a collaboration with the amazing, fabulous, incredibly talented Hermit Tarot. I'm sure you have heard of her. If you have not, you definitely need to check out her video and her channel either after watching mine or before watching mine. I do not care as long as you send her some love and check her video out too. What we are going to be doing together is she is going to be looking at who is crushing on you, and she's going to be going in depth into the people that have crushes on you. So one important disclaimer that we wanted to talk about is that there might be overlap between our videos, but there also might not be. And what I mean by that is I am coming from the perspective of you and who you have crushes on, whereas Lorraine, Hermit, she is going to be looking at who is crushing on you. So it's quite possible that in your case here, you might have one or two piles that you watch based on your crushes, and then you go to Lorraine's channel and you hear about someone that wasn't even talked about here because maybe you don't have a crush on them or you don't know even that they exist yet. So it's important to remember that when you're watching both of our videos, that if there's one pile that really resonates with you, the other pile may not be in our readings because we're covering two different topics, but we thought this would be a great way to do it because it gives you the opportunity to both look at things from your perspective and all about your crushes, and also be open to crushes that maybe you find in here in her channel as confirmation, or even crushes on you that you didn't even know existed. So be sure to check out my channel and her channel, as I feel there's going to be a lot of tea spilled. So thank you so much, Lorraine, for collaborating with me. I love you so much, and I cannot wait to see how this reading turns out. So let's go ahead and talk about the 4 piles that we have today, starting with pile 1. We have the Star Spinner Tarot, as well as this, is it Druzy Agate on top? I'll have to look up what the stone is and I'll put it in the description, but it's a white star. And then for pile 2, we have the New Moon Tarot, as well as this giant hunk of Pyrite. And then for pile 3, we have the Santa Muerte Tarot, as well as this Aquamarine point. And then finally for pile 4, we have the Mystic Mondays Tarot, as well as this Bismuth alien head. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile or piles you feel drawn to. Like I said, it is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. It is quite possible that you could have more than one crush. All that matters is that it resonates. So just take what resonates and leave the rest. And be sure to check out Hermit's video on who is crushing on you. So once you picked your pile or piles, you can go ahead and scroll down to the description box or the comment section, where I will have all the timestamps listed below, as well as the links to my extended and the links to Hermit's channel. And then once you have picked your pile or piles, I will see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile One. Welcome to your reading and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the White Agate Star and the Star Spinner Tarot, this is going to be your reading on how your crush sees you. Now, if you skip the intro, you might want to go back and look at that. If you do have questions and you comment a question that I answered in the intro, I'm literally just going to comment intro back to you, but with a smiley face, because I'm not mad at you. I'm just redirecting you kindly. But what we are going to do to confirm that this is your pile is we are going to start by how you see your crush and how you see yourself. So if that resonates, you found the right pile, and we'll look at the objective energy between the two of you. Now, if you find that you can't find a pile that sounds like you, how you see your crush, but you find a pile that sounds like how you see your crush, how your crush sees you in this part, then I would watch that one, because we're doing both sides no matter what. This side is how you see your crush for confirmation, and then I'm doing how your crush sees you. So no matter what, you should get yourself. So if nothing resonates, then I unfortunately probably do not have a message for you in this reading. But definitely still check out the Hermit Tarot and see if she has one for you, because she's a fantastic reader and you just would be crazy not to. So let's go ahead and start by looking and seeing how you see yourself right now. So to start, we have the Goat with the Five of Wands. We have Go Beyond Karma in reverse and Question Yourself. Okay. And then in terms of how you see your crush, we had a little bit more come out. So let's look at these. So to start, we have the Hanged Man and the Sun. We also have Worthy and Refine, Improve. And finally, we have Dishonesty. Okay. And then finally, for the energy that connects the two of you, we have the Fortune Teller Tent. All the answers are within you. External Forces, Influence, Intuition, and Man Holding a Coin, number 43. So this is a pretty intense energy, I'm not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and start by looking at you. I felt really called to put the tarot deck there. I think this is really interesting, starting with the Five of Wands here. With this Goat card, you could be a Capricorn or have Capricorn energy. You certainly don't have to, but I mean, I will say the Hermit Tarot is a Capricorn, so if you like Capricorns, there's another reason to check her out. But one thing that what I'm definitely seeing here for you is that this is a crush that I don't think that you are having an easy time accepting. With the Goat here, I can't help but be called to the fact that the Goat is often a term of endearment, like the greatest of all time. And I think that there is a level of hyper independence with you where you may almost pride yourself on not having feelings for people or priding yourself on doing things alone. And I feel like this crush is really, I don't want to say taking its toll on you, because I think that you're doing a decent job of handling this challenge, but I definitely can see that you're likely fighting your feelings for this person and fighting this crush, because I think that you don't necessarily trust yourself or this person. What I think is really interesting with this Go Beyond Karma card is I think that you might be looking at this crush and wondering, like, you know, what if this is just a mistake? Or what if this is just something where I'm not seeing everything correctly? What if this is just like me doing the same thing over and over again without realizing it? Like, you might be someone who's had crushes that maybe were unrequited, or maybe that you just realized like we're going to fizzle out. And I think that maybe, especially if you've been kind of on your own journey of personal development, you might be feeling like this person, you might just be really questioning yourself and your feelings, wondering, are these my true feelings, or why am I fighting this connection? I feel like you're just really confused right now, and it's kind of hard to channel your energy because there is so much confusion, but there's also a lot of stubbornness, because I think that you might equate emotion or romantic feelings with weakness or as a sign that there's something wrong with you. You know, the term down bad, when you're down bad for someone, you know, and if you don't know what down bad means, it just means like, oh, like I have a really, really big crush on this person. If you've heard the term simping, it kind of goes hand in hand with that. But essentially what I'm seeing here is that you're kind of in this energy where I feel like you might be the one fighting this connection. Actually, hang on to that, because for some of you that may not be the case, and we'll talk about that when we get into your person. But I definitely see for some of you, either you're fighting the connection or fighting the feelings that the connection gives you. And I think that you are very wary of this connection because you don't want to fall into an old pattern or an old habit or an old cycle. But I think what you may not be seeing is that your lack of acceptance around this situation is kind of what is making this such a challenging struggle for you. I think that you're really trying to stubbornly, literally like headbutt any emotions away so that you don't have to face them. But I think you're starting to question how really good that is for you, and whether it's really worth, putting in all that energy towards fighting this, because you might just be fighting a losing battle with yourself and exhausting with yourself. And the interesting thing is that it's not a fighting a losing battle in the sense of like this connection, but you're fighting a losing battle with yourself in terms of you're just pushing away emotions that you refuse to feel. So like they keep coming back to be processed and either accepted or released or whatever you need to do, and instead you keep pushing them away again, but they're kind of like a boomerang, like they keep coming right back. So I think that you're in this process right now of just questioning yourself and wanting to understand why you can't stop thinking about this person or have feelings for this person, or why you can't seem to get this connection or this person out of your head. Now, looking at how you're seeing your crush, I think this is really interesting, because with the Hanged Man and the Sun, we have two signs. We have the sign of Pisces and the sign of Leo. So either of those signs could be significant. They don't have to have these signs. But I do think that this person, you see your crush as somebody who makes you really happy and you really enjoy being around them. But at the same time, I feel like there's an element here where they either can't move towards you, maybe they want to move towards you and you're kind of avoiding them. I only say that because it looks like you see your person looking at you. So maybe, you know that you owe your person or this crush an explanation, or you want to tell this person, but you're not really sure what to do. Like maybe if you're avoiding this person, you might be aware that they're waiting on a response from you or something like that. But if not, I could also see that maybe this person is holding back from you at this time, or there's not much action happening from this person. But I think you're seeing them as someone who's kind of in their own element, but also someone that makes you very happy, that you really enjoy being around. I think that if you've known this person for a while, you've seen them go through some sort of transformation. Maybe for some of you, you rejected this person in the past, and like they've changed a lot, and you're like, wow, maybe they are worthy of my time. Maybe they could help me refine and improve myself. Like you might kind of look at them as an inspiration, but I think you also don't entirely trust this person. With this dishonesty card here, maybe this person hasn't been honest with you in the past, or maybe you aren't sure what their truth is. Like maybe this person has said that they have a crush on you and you don't want to believe them. Maybe you feel like they're worthy of someone better than you, worthy of something more deserving. And as a result, you might be feeling like they're lying to you or they're not seeing the truth. It's really interesting because I honestly can't tell which. I feel like the semantics could be different. For some of you, you could be pushing this crush away. For others, you could see this crush kind of in their own element, not really making any moves towards you. And you might be questioning yourself, like, why do I care about this person so much, like, when they're not even taking action towards me? But I want to talk about the connecting energy between the two of you, because I find this really interesting. With the man holding a coin, I'm seeing this as so many different things. So I'm going to just have to list all of them off, and hopefully you can find one that resonates. But I will say, and this goes for anything in any reading, not just in this circumstance, if you ever get a message in one of my readings that I don't say out loud, but you get from just looking at the cards, like, if that resonates, please take that, because just because I don't say something doesn't mean that your intuitive interpretation of it is wrong. It just means that I'm channeling for a lot of people and I can't hit every single possible interpretation. So trust any interpretations that come to you. But with this man holding a coin as an objective energy, for a lot of you, I'm almost seeing this man as not as like a literal man, but the man. And by that, I mean like the system, the man, you know, if you've ever seen the School of Rock, you know, they're like, the man kidnapped Shamu and put her in a chlorine tank. Like, you both might be working for the man, or you might be in the process of trying to empower yourselves and maybe get away from the man. And maybe that's something that you both are dealing with, where maybe you both kind of have blockages right now, or you both have things that you're working towards. But I also see this as you two showing up with each other or in front of each other in a very practical and masculine way. And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter like what your sex is or what your gender identity is. It's all about energy, and you both show up in masculine energy with each other. And I think what I mean by that is you both kind of have a more well, air and fire are the elements that go with masculine energy. So, you know, you could be more fiery or more passionate, but also maybe more, you might be like maybe very communicative with one another, but I don't see either of you being very like emotional with one another. I think that's the one thing that neither of you really have talked about here is your emotions, if you have talked about them at all. But this man holding a coin could also be like maybe you and this person work together, or there's some sort of uniting factor here, like a mutual workplace or mutual friends that work at the same place. Maybe you two know each other through a family member, like a parent or something like that. But I can really just see this also as you both showing up trying to be solid, but also in a protective way. You know, masculine energy is all about, you know, protecting, and I think that you both are in this protective energy where you both want to protect yourselves and maybe not be too vulnerable. I think you both are trying to show up in very stable energies with one another where you don't reveal too much. It's almost like you both are so, well, I guess we'll have to, actually no, this is objective energy, so this is something that you both are doing. So I guess I'm curious to see what's going to come through for your person and how they're seeing you, because one thing that I do see is that you both may be having a hard time trusting your intuition because your external reality is telling you something different. Like what you're being shown or what you're seeing is not what I think either of you are truly feeling or expressing. So I think in your case, you're seeing your crush as somebody who is worthy of your time and energy, especially if you've seen them grow. I just feel like you're unsure of what their truth is, and you might feel like you haven't really gotten to see their darker side. Like with the sun and the hanged man, you know, the dragonflies obviously skim the surface of the water, and so I feel like you haven't really seen this person's inner depths, so you don't really know how they truly feel. And with the sun card being here as well, I feel like this person is always really happy around you, or maybe tries to keep things light around you, and as a result you might be like, okay, so what is their darkness then? Are they just this perfect? Or like, I feel like you just don't know the truth of this person, and it makes you question yourself and whether it's really safe to trust this energy. And I think maybe what has happened in the material world between you and this person, like actions haven't necessarily matched up with intentions and energies. So you might feel like you know, what is the truth of this situation? How does this person really feel? Because it seems like this person isn't taking very much action towards you, but I think they also inspire you to want to and like refine and improve yourself. I think one commonality between the two of you is that you both are really hard workers, and that might be something you bond over. But I also think that you both might actually be looking up readings about each other, or you might be having experiences that are forcing you to seek people or guidance that will actually match your intuition, because it seems like if you trust the situation based off of like what's on the surface and just what you can see in this person's actions, it seems like you're not getting a clear answer, because what you feel intuitively is not what's matching on the outside. And I think that is making you have a really hard time to know whether this is something you want to trust or not, or whether this is something you even want to consider or not, when because I can tell you're in this energy like, I don't want to open myself up to this person and then get hurt or misread the situation and be totally off base. I think that you're really just being extra careful, and I think that there's also a stubborn streak to you where you may not like to admit that you've caught feelings for someone, or that you're down bad for someone. And I think that as a result, you are in this process of trying to understand, like, okay, so what is the truth of this situation? And, you know, what is an illusion? Because I think it's quite possible that especially if you know this person through people around you, this person might have not told you the truth to save face. You know, the sun here represents Leo energy, and Leo can be very wonderful. Leo energy can be very wonderful, but it can also be very egoic. And it's quite possible that maybe this person didn't show you their true feelings because they were saving face, or they didn't want maybe mutual friends or people around you to know the truth. So I think that there's just a lot of uncertainty here. So let's go ahead, if that resonated, let's go ahead and see how your crush is viewing you, because I think that'll be a lot more illuminating. So for you guys, we have the Star Spinner Tarot, and I quickly wanted to mention that if this reading is resonating and you're enjoying it, but you get to the end and you're hungry for more, want some seconds, there is an extended for this reading where we are going to be looking at the truth of this connection and the truth of why you have a crush on this person, why you're drawn to this person, so that we can get, you know, greater awareness for you. And I think that'll be really great as well, since you're probably questioning, like, is this real or not? It might be good for some, it might be helpful for those of you that need some self-analysis. But we're also going to look at what actions Spirit is guiding you to take towards this situation and towards yourself. And then we're going to get further channel messages from this person and /or Spirit, depending on what I feel is right, and we'll get more advice. So if you're interested in that, that will be linked down below underneath the timestamps. But let's go ahead and see how this person is seeing you. I know that I cut these into threes, but I can't remember if I did because I have such bad short-term memory. So I'm just gonna do it again, okay? So Spirit, how does Pile 1's crush view them? How does Pile 1's crush? Okay, so we have what is this? The 10 of Cups in reverse. How does Pile 1's crush view them? We have the 9 of Wands upright. How does Pile 1's crush view them? We have the 3 of Wands in reverse. We have the 8 of Wands upright. And one more card, please, Spirit. We have the 5 of Swords upright. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers now. Okay, so can you clarify the 10 of Cups in reverse? We have Temperance in reverse. We have the 9 of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, what about the 3 of Wands in reverse? We have the 8 of Cups in Or is this the Seven of Cups? This is the Seven of Cups in reverse. Yeah, okay. It's not the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Cups. Not the best at Roman numerals. Okay, what about the Eight of Wands, please, Spirit? We have the Two of Cups. Wow, okay. And finally, the Five of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. And back of the deck energy is the King of Wands. So, wow, okay. So, if you are a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, that could be extra confirmation for you. What's underneath that? Oh my gosh, the Chariot. So let's talk about how your person is, or how your crush is seeing you. So it definitely seems like you and this person may have a little bit of history, but how much history there is, I think depends. It's going to be semantics for all of you. But I definitely think that your crush isn't happy with where this situation is. With the Ten of Cups in reverse and Temperance in reverse, I think that your crush is unfulfilled by the situation or where the situation is at. In fact, they might be feeling a little bit impatient even, where they want to rectify the situation. But I also think that this person I think they're viewing you as maybe dealing with your own challenging stuff. And this person might, what I will say is that if you've been pushing this crush away, I definitely think they're viewing you from a perspective of like, they feel like you both could really fulfill one another, and they're trying their hardest to be patient. But I think that they are also in this energy where they feel like, you know, they have to focus on their own fulfillment, and they might be feeling like maybe they just can't fulfill you, and so they are doing their own thing. But also, if that's not the case, if your crush pushed you away, then they might be looking at this situation. They might be, if they pushed you away in the past, then I definitely think that they fully recognized at that point that you both could have something really special, but they pushed it away because they weren't ready to share themselves with someone. And at that point, I think that fulfillment for them was a self-focused thing. And I think that they didn't see how you both could fulfill one another. But with the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Swords here, I feel like this person really wants to tell you the truth. And I think that you might see them as holding back, and I think you're right, but they also see you as holding back as well. If you've been extra tired, I think this person notices that, and that might actually be something that you both have shared, is just kind of exhaustion and fatigue. But I also think this person sees you as having walls up. And actually what's interesting is with this Nine of Wands here, I feel like this person sees that you both have this coping mechanism where you both put walls up because you're afraid of looking like a clown if you are vulnerable and someone doesn't share the same viewpoint as you, or if the truth doesn't match up with how they feel. I feel like your person sees you as wanting to tell them the truth, but holding back. And I think that your person mirrors this. I think that your person also wants to say more, but they're holding back. And what's really interesting with this Three of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Cups in reverse is this person is seeing you as withholding communication from them. And they believe it's because you don't know what you want or you're confused. And this person has reached a point where they've decided that they're confused. Oh my gosh, you know what I'm seeing? If you've seen Euphoria, that scene between Fez and Nate's dad, where Nate's dad is like, I am so confused, and then Fez is like, you're confused, I'm fucking confused, bro. Like, I think you both are really confused about this situation, and I think a lot of the confusion stems from the fact that there's not very much communication here. The fact that with the Three of Wands in reverse, there's definitely issues of communication between the two of you. And I think the issues of communication stem from the fact that you both are afraid to speak the truth. You both are afraid to be honest. And I think the fears of being honest kind of stem from the fact that I think both of you are afraid of being delusional and having a take that's like way off base. I think maybe you both pride yourselves on being intuitive and trusting your intuition, and maybe this is a situation where you both feel like you can't trust each other, you can't trust your intuition. And so I think that your crush is definitely seeing you as wanting to tell you something, but wanting to tell them something but not coming forward. And I think that your crush feels that too, but I think that they're afraid to open those gateways or say, you know, to start that conversation of clarity, because both of you are still kind of on defense. Both of you are a little afraid. And I also think that with this Three of Wands in reverse, with the Seven of Cups in reverse, like, you both are just really confused, and I think that your crush is looking at you and is very confused about the situation. And I think they recognize that they're not going to get clarity until they talk to you, or until there's some sort of communication, or until you're able to kind of both lay your cards out on the table. And I think they're maybe waiting for that opportunity. I feel like they see you as someone that they're very attracted to. With the Two of Cups, they see you as like someone that they would like to be in a partnership with. And maybe for you, if that's something that you don't want, like, maybe that's why you might be holding back. With the Eight of Wands here, though, I really think that this person just sees you as very attractive. Like, they're very, very attracted to you. And I think that they really want to take action towards you, but I know exactly why they're not, and we'll talk about that here. But with this Two of Cups, I feel like your crush sees you as someone that really gets them in a way that not a lot of people do. And I think that your crush feels a sense of camaraderie with you that they don't with a lot of people. And I also think what's unique is that your crush really respects you intellectually, and I think also really respects just your journey and how far you've come. And I think that they feel like you're a kindred spirit to them. And I think that's a very overwhelming prospect, because what if that's unrequited? So I think you both are afraid of, excuse me, I'm burping so much, unrequited love here. But I think you also are both afraid of true intimacy, because I think, you know, with this Two of Cups card, you know, this is a really intimate card. And I think that you and this person, or I think your crush is seeing you both as cut from the same cloth. And, you know, maybe this started as something that was just a hookup or something like that. But I think that if you've been physically intimate with this person, it wasn't just a hookup for them. Or if it started as a hookup, it definitely didn't end that way. Or if you have just been hooking up, I don't think that this is just a, like, if this person acts like, if you're physical with them and they act like it's just physical, there's definitely something deeper there. In fact, if you have been, I just feel like your crush isn't used to being physically intimate with someone and then feeling something deeper for them. Or maybe your crush, for some of you, if they're not really a very, like, if they're not a friends with benefits type person, like, maybe the only reason they are physical with you is because they feel a deep connection to you, but they might be afraid that you don't feel the same way, but they don't want to let go of this connection, or they don't want to let go of you. So they're like kind of just holding on to what they can without pushing you away. But I think they see you as someone who could get them, who could understand them really well. And I think that I'm hearing the song Sweet Creature by Harry Styles. So I think that this person just has a lot of sweetness for you and holds a special place for you in their heart. But with this Five of Swords and this Page of Wands, this is how I'm interpreting it depending on what person you are. So if you pushed this person away, I think they are viewing this situation as something where you kind of have to be the one to talk to them, because it kind of seems like if you were the one to push them away, it was the fact that you weren't ready in the first place, or that you didn't want this situation in the first place. That's kind of holding them back from you. And I feel like, you know, this your crush kind of has this perspective of, if you love something, let them go. And I wouldn't say like, you know, this person's like deeply in love with you or anything, but I think this person cares about you, and I think that they didn't want to mess anything up. And I think that if there was any heartbreak around this situation, I think they've healed that heartbreak, but they still haven't healed the part of them that really overthinks about this situation. So actually, it really doesn't matter whether you were the one to push this person away or vice versa. If that happened, I will clarify more if that's not the case. I feel like, you know, this person is seeing the past, and they've healed a lot from the past, and I think they want this situation between the two of you to be a bit lighter. But I think this person is definitely overthinking, because I think that your crush is comparing themselves and you to the past versions of yourselves that may have been more immature with this Page of Wands here. But I think this person is realizing that with this King of Wands here, they're seeing you as a lot more confident, as a lot more bold, and maybe you've grown and evolved a lot. I feel like they're seeing you as as the person that is going to take action towards them if this situation happens, or they're seeing you as, you know, the person that wants to take the lead here. Or maybe that's what they're hoping you'll do, if that's not resonating. For others, this person might be worried that if there hasn't been any difficulties between the two of you, but you haven't, you know, discussed your feelings, I think that this person is holding back discussing their feelings because they're very afraid of, one, saying the wrong thing and getting rejected, two, I think a lot of their childhood insecurities are holding them back from being honest. I think that, you know, they might be working on inner child wounds, but I think there are wounds around overthinking. I definitely think that this person is overthinking about you in this situation, and it's kind of making it a lot more difficult for them to make a decision. Because if you feel like this person needs to be the one to come towards you, I think that this person, especially with the Chariot underneath here, wants to make that decision, but they're afraid of conflict, or they're afraid of things not turning out very well, or they're afraid of you not reciprocating. So overall, I feel like they might be seeing you, for some, as unhappy. If this person is the one holding back from you, I think that they might be seeing you as unhappy about this situation, and maybe a little bit impatient to hear from them. And it's like they know that they owe you some sort of explanation, that they need to talk to you, but they're just unsure right now of what to say or how to say it. They're not sure what the right way to communicate this is. In fact, I think that if you have been physically intimate with this person is really saying, trust my actions, not my words, because my actions speak so much louder than my words, especially I think it's actions towards you, especially in like an intimate context, where, especially like any action towards you, like, and non-action is an action. So like if this person is avoiding you, there's a greater reason for it than just like they're mad at you. Like, they're not mad at you, they're just dealing with something deeper. I think that this person is not used to really deep connections like this, or if they do like deep connections, this is a rare thing for them to find. And I think that they are very afraid of doing anything at all that could impact their chances of being with you. Like, they don't want to push you away, they don't want to ruin this. And so it's almost like this connection is safer in their fantasy world, in their head, because if they bring the truth to you and you don't feel the same, then the reality of the situation, then they're like, you know, they might be really upset. So I hope this is making sense. So, because I can't tell for a lot of you like what perspective y'all are coming from, but that's kind of what I'm seeing in terms of how they're seeing you. I think there's a lot that they're uncertain of. And I think that I'm hearing heart to heart. Like, I feel like this person wants to have a heart to heart with you, but they have to like get in touch with their heart first to even know how they're gonna tell you that sort of thing, if that makes sense. But speaking of what they would say to you, let's go ahead and pull just a few channeled messages to see like what this person would say to you. I will say these are homemade and handwritten, so if any of them don't make sense based upon like the degree of the crush, like just take what resonates here. Don't let the rest take from you. Especially if some of them don't make sense, or you're like, this seems too deep for this connection. So like I said, just take what resonates, but we're just gonna pull a few and see. Spirit, what would pile one's crush say to pile one if they could be completely honest? Let's just pull these two first. We have, I know how to say all the right things to get what I want. Don't trust my words. So I literally did just say, like, especially if this person has said things in the past to you, like they might actually be thinking at how with this Five of Swords here, how they've created more issues in their life by not being honest. Like maybe this person hasn't been honest with you about how they actually feel about you, and they might have pushed you away, but you might be feeling really confused and trying to fight off this connection because you're like, well, this person said that they only saw me as a friend, or this person said they only feel one way about me. But the truth is that they feel deeper than that, but they are afraid of getting hurt. They're afraid of being, especially I think if they've had really negative or difficult experiences in the past, they're just like, it's easier for them to stay in control and manipulate others. And so if you are and so if you feel like this person has told you things that don't match up with what you feel intuitively, and you think what I'm saying matches more what you feel intuitively, I would say don't trust what this person says, because they might lie to you out of fear of being vulnerable. But we also have, there's never enough time to spend with you. I love being around you. And that might be why they're so happy when they're around you. You might be like, how is this person struggling when they're around me? They seem to be great. And I think that they just don't like for you to see their struggles. But what else would this person say? Okay. We also have, I'm sorry for acting like a know-it-all. I'm afraid of being wrong. So yeah, so this person might not be telling you what they actually feel about you because they are afraid that you might not feel the same way, or they might have got it wrong or something like that. I feel like this person is really afraid of being vulnerable. And how do I know you won't leave me like everyone else? So yeah, I definitely think that this person is just in a process of trying to deal with this connection. I feel like this connection or this crush, like I definitely think this crush is mutual, but I think that this person is still dealing with, as you are, as we saw, like with the effects of having this crush. So I think that if you're fighting this crush off, I think this person is trying to as well, and to know that it's not something personal. It's both your own fears kind of blocking things for the both of you. Okay. And finally, we have Angels, When She Shuts Her Eyes by Mac Miller. You get me high, hold me there. This is real, girl, don't be scared. It's only fair, I warn you, that love a drug that can kill you. Got your heart open, I'd have it never grow apart or last forever. So yeah, I think that this person is fully recognizing that there could be something really real between the two of you, and that's why they're pushing you away, or push this situation away, is because they're scared. So if they push this situation away in the past and they come back around towards you, you might be like, how do I know I can trust you? And I think it's because if they've, well, I think Kanye will give you the good answer, give you the good word, because we have Father Stretch My Hands Part 1. Beautiful morning, you're the sun to my morning, babe. Beautiful morning, nothing unwanted. So like with the sun card coming out here, like this person fully recognizes how happy you make them, and I think part of their ego didn't like that. But you know, this song is about, you know, choosing God over ego. And I think that this person is in the process of trying to overcome their ego and trying to choose the things that feel more deep and meaningful to them. I'm not saying that this person has to believe in anything like that. It's just what I'm saying is that they're recognizing that their ego is holding them back from listening to what their soul is trying to tell them. So it's making it difficult for them to trust. But rap could be significant if your person is into rap. We have 2 rappers here. And also music in general could be significant. You might get messages from this person in music. But we're going to go ahead and finish this reading off with some final guidance. So I'm just going to move this guy out of the way. Oh, are you serious? Okay, well, here's an extra message for you, Pio 1. Songs and movies take a new meaning after experiencing your love. Wow. Okay, so I definitely think that maybe these are songs literally that this person has had that take a new meaning after being around you. But I definitely think that even if you haven't necessarily told this person you love them or vice versa, I think this crush has made things have a new meaning for them too. So we're going to go ahead now and finish off with some final guidance for you before we check out the extended. So to start, we have rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. So this is definitely a sign that Spirit is saying in order to experience the beautiful things that this connection has to offer, you have to be willing to literally rapture what's holding you back from being open to it. So, things like your ego, things like your fear, those things need to be raptured in order for you to be open to more. But I think what Spirit is saying here is that there is a lot of sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure to be experienced here. And if you've already been intimate with them in some way, I'm sure you'll know that. Or even if you just feel the vibes, like if there's a lot of tension or something like that, I think that could be huge confirmation. But we also have surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So I definitely think that this is part of the reason why you're resistant to this connection is it might feel uncomfortable to receive support and love, and it might be uncomfortable to trust that not everything will be ripped out from underneath you. But I think that, the process of being okay to receive support and love has to be a mutual process here. Like, it's not just a you thing or this person thing. I think it requires both of you to be more open. But we also have your dreams need a practical plan. So I think that Spirit is definitely saying here, like, you two could be in a standoff for as long as you want to be, or if you know the steps that are holding you back from being honest with this person, I think the universe is saying you need to release procrastination here and trust in a practical plan to guide you where you need to go. But we also have, when I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. So this is when it comes to attracting things. So if you're trying to attract this person back into your life, if you're not talking to them, for example, Spirit is really saying introduce joy to everything you do, even when you're just analyzing the situation. How can you joyfully analyze this situation or do it in a way that you enjoy? Joy and enjoy, they're the same, kind of the same thing. So Spirit is really saying, like, doing things that you enjoy, I think will help heal this wound around receiving support and love. But also I think that Spirit is saying as well, joyful situations are not to be afraid of, but this situation, if it brings you a lot of joy, might be bringing to your awareness what the vibrational frequency of the things around you normally are at, and it might give you an idea of maybe what's holding you back, or maybe what brings you down and what isn't matching with you anymore. And finally, we have forgiveness. Acknowledgement that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So I definitely think that you and this person maybe have some things that you need to work through, but I think that if you're ready to forgive this person, or you did forgive this person, and maybe what's holding you back is forgiving yourself, or forgiving maybe not yourself for what you did, but for what you didn't know in the past, I think that forgiveness of self and this person could really help this situation move forward. So pile 1, that is where I'm going to leave the free reading. If you would like to move over to the extended, that will be linked down below. But that is all I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads or just letting them play in the background. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me and my channel. But if you would like to support me and my channel in other ways, or well, not only support me and my channel, you should go and check out Hermit's video and support her channel and leave her a like and comment and some love as well. But if you'd like to support me and my channel other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates, and you can subscribe if you haven't already and click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also check out my social media as well as my merch. Though do be aware, they're both linked below, but do be aware that my social media, I have a lot of scammers that pretend to be me. So just know that I do not offer personal readings, and I will not offer you a personal reading via your DMs. If someone does that, they are a scammer. But that is all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the big old hunk of Pyrite and the New Moon Tarot, this is going to be your reading all on how your crush sees you. So what we are going to do is start by looking at how you are seeing yourself, how you're seeing your crush, and the objective energy that exists between the two of you. I did quickly want to mention that if you are looking through the piles and you can't find a pile that sounds like you, but you can find a pile that sounds like how your crush sees you, I would watch that pile, because it just means that your pile is flip-flopped and you're hearing about how your crush sees you first, and then the second part will be confirmation for you for how you see your crush. So I might sound confusing, but the point of what I'm trying to say is it should be how you see your crush and then how your crush sees you. But if it ends up flip-flopped but still resonating, then I would take that as your reading. It's kind of my goal, to get both sides so that no matter what, you get an answer. But if you don't resonate with any of the piles, and I would say unfortunately there's likely not a message for you in this reading, but I would check out the intro if you didn't, because I answered some questions. If I see a question in my comment section that asks something that I answered in the intro, I will just direct you to the intro, so be aware of that. But be sure to check out Hermit's video on her channel if you haven't, or after this one, especially if you don't find a pile that resonates here. So okay, let's go ahead and start by looking at how you are seeing yourself. So for you, we have the World, we have Intuition, and we have Examine. And then for how you're seeing your crush, we have the Moon, we have I Am, and we have Toxic. Okay. And then for the objective energy that exists between the two of you, we have Crystal Waterfalls, clear your mind and cleanse your soul, healing, cleansing, recharging, and the first chakra, Archangel Michael. So I do want to say, just first off, if you have prayed to Archangel Michael at all for protection or guidance in this situation, actually, this is very telling. As you see, I have my own Archangel Michael sword. He's a big sword guy, as you can see here, and there is a sword here. So I will say, if you are not talking to your person, it is likely that someone is involved with that to help you cleanse and recharge. If not, if you wondered why there seems to be distance here, or why things seem to be kind of uncertain, rejection is divine protection. Let's just say that. But let's get into this. Let me say too, I'm not talking about rejection in the sense of like this person rejecting you. We don't even know how they see you yet, but from what I can tell just straight off the bat, I think that you are being very discerning about, or trying to be very discerning about this person and your crush. So I feel like starting with you with the World card here, you could be a fixed sign, which the fixed signs are Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus, but you don't have to be any of those. What I'm really seeing for you is that you are in a state of for some of you, this is a state of completion where like you're very fulfilled on your own, but I think this crush has piqued your interest, or you feel very drawn to them, but it doesn't seem like you're necessarily reaching out to them or trying to get too involved with them, because you might be feeling like, well, we'll get to your crush in a second, but I do feel like you are at a distance from this person, either physically or just there's not a whole lot going on between the two of you right now, where like it seems like you may not be talking, this person may not be talking to you, or maybe you're drawn to this person, like you have a crush on this person, but you haven't interacted with them too much, and there's something that stops you from interacting with them. I definitely think that your crush is somebody who you might be struggling to know what is actually them, like what is their true self and what is their wounded self, or the self that they project because they're wounded or afraid. So what I see for you is like you're kind of looking at this situation like, I would say honestly, like from a very healthy perspective, where I feel like you've removed yourself. And I would say too, if this person is like, if you feel like you can't trust what this person tells you, I feel like you've been partially retreating so that you can kind of get an idea of what this crush really is, like how much of this crush is really you and how much of this crush is uncertainty or allure or intrigue towards this person. Because I do feel like you see this person as a bit of a mystery, but also very stubborn. The fact that we have the bull here, I mean, your person could be a Taurus or a Pisces or Cancer with the moon being here. They don't have to have those placements, but it does kind of seem like this is someone who may be stuck in their own darkness, or you see that as such. And they may not see their behaviors as toxic, but maybe you do. Maybe you recognize that their attitude is toxic, or the way they look at things is toxic. And I think that with the world here, I think that you may take pride in helping others, like with the stag card being here. I think that you might feel camaraderie with this person because like you both have horns, right? Spirit, ew, stop. I listen, I said something about horns. You can infer what I heard in my head. Anyway, I do think that you see a lot of yourself in this person, but you may be realizing that you've been looking more at what you do have in common rather than what you don't. And I think what you may be realizing as well is that you don't have a full picture of this person. And in fact, this person might be intentionally deceptive, or they're unaware of how their perspective deceives you. Like you might, but here's the thing, this person might not even be intentionally deceiving you. It might just be that when you get around this person, like you might just have a crush on them that blinds you to the fact that they have these toxic traits. And then when you kind of get away from them and you're out of the cloudiness of their aura or like their energy, you can kind of see more clearly, and it leaves you in this place where you're like, well, shit, like what's really real here? What's true here? Because one thing that I can see for sure is that I don't think that this person has a very open third eye. I feel like if anything, they might be going through some ego dust right now, but I mean, we'll look at what that says when we look at how they're seeing you. But I feel like you're seeing this person as someone very powerful, but their own worst enemy. I think that you likely see all the wonderful things in this person that they don't see about themselves. But I also think that one thing that you're recognizing is that this person is deeply in shadow, and it's not your job to show this person the light. They have to be willing to look at it. They have to be willing to be open to it. And I think that this person might you know that phrase, don't shit where you eat? I feel like that this person kind of does that, but I know the phrase is more so around like for example, you know, you could use that phrase like to not date a coworker at a job. So for some of you, maybe you do work with this person, or maybe you do share a mutual community with this person, and you know the what that phrase essentially means is like, don't shit where you eat. Like, obviously, for example, if it's your coworker and you would get involved with them, if things would end poorly, then you'd have to deal with the literally shit in your foods. Like, where you go to make your livelihood, you have to deal with some bullshit. You know what I mean? So that could be relevant, but I also think that this person, they don't realize that what they feed themselves is bullshit. Like, they feed themselves a lot of bullshit in order to serve their own delusions, and I think you're aware of that. Like, I think that you're realizing, you know the quote, like, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. I think that you're starting to realize that, and I think it's very hard for you because intuitively I think you know that there's more to this person, and I think you know that there's more value here and that they hold more value. But I think that you're realizing that this crush may not be the most healthy or helpful, because it seems like this person's not really in a healthy place. The fact that we have I am and toxic, like, I think that this person is well aware that they're not in a good place, but I feel like this is someone who uses the fact that they're not in a good place as an excuse to well, I don't want to say as an excuse, because I think that when we're in pain, it's hard to see things clearly, and I think when we're so used to being in pain, it's hard to know that the idea of not being in pain almost seems painful. Like, we get so used to our own suffering that the thought of not suffering seems not real and super painful. And I think that this person has really believed whatever cruel story they've told themselves. And I think that their own perspective is very toxic. I think that they probably have a really toxic way of talking to themselves and communicating with themselves, like just tapping into their energy. And maybe you've heard this, like maybe you've heard this person say things like, oh, I'm a piece of shit, like I'm not good enough, and like blah, blah, blah. And I think that you're kind of realizing like, okay, you might have had this perspective like you and this person could benefit each other, but I think you're realizing that this person can't benefit you and you can't benefit them, right? At least right now, because their perspective doesn't serve you at all, and they're not even open to seeing what your perspective is. So I think you're in this process of wondering, like, or in this process of looking at how you're feeling about this person, and also I think thinking about where you're at in life. I feel like for a lot of you, you could be ending a stage in life where you might be starting a new beginning, or you might just be feeling this sense of completeness where you might be ready to open your life to someone, or you might just be feeling like, okay, I have this crush, but it's not necessarily something I need to integrate into my life. Like, I feel like you're already pretty happy and content with your life the way it is, or you're satisfied with how things are in your world. But if if this person is at a distance to you, you might be a little confused, and you might be uncertain of what their truth is, maybe because you haven't met them in person, or maybe because they are able to kind of tell you whatever they need to tell you. If you're not able to see them in person, I think that you're kind of stuck with whatever story they tell you, or whatever they tell you is going on. And it might be right now that you see them as ignoring you or not paying attention to you, and I think you're right, but I think it's because they're focused on their own pain and their own problems, and it's not something that is your fault. It's like it has nothing to do with you. But I do think it's quite possible that you could have withdrawn from this situation, and you might be like thinking that they would pay attention and notice you, and they haven't, and that might be something kind of painful or difficult for you to realize, where you might be like, wait, why aren't they paying attention to me? Like, I thought this was mutual. And I don't know if it's mutual or not, but I think what you're realizing is that even if it is mutual, there might not be value in this crush, I mean, there might be value in the crush, but it might not be good for you. If that's, I feel like you're trying to determine what's best for you. Like, no matter what, you're in a more masculine energy of looking out for yourself and protecting yourself, and trying to trust what your intuition is telling you while also paying attention to what's happening on the surface. I feel like you are in this process of healing, cleansing, and recharging. And I think that this person is trying to as well, but they might be running from that. Like almost in like a water off a duck's back. You know, usually that means like, you know, to not let anything like for example, Jinx Monsoon used to say it in season 4 of Drag Race. Like she, like whenever she would get criticisms or things like that, you know, like water off a duck's back, like don't let it affect you. I think that this person, you might be doing healing with the intention of healing both of you, and it might just be flowing right off of this person because they're not open to receiving healing right now. Like I think that you're in this perspective of, I think you might just be confused. You're looking at this person with confusion. Like they're very stubborn. They don't seem to see what you're trying to show them. And it's hard because you have this crush on them, but at the same time, they're kind of showing you who they really are. And it's like, well, shoot, I don't know what this is, and I don't know what purpose this holds. And I feel like you just kind of decided that you needed time to kind of get your mind straight and cleanse and recharge. And I think now you're in this state of looking at this person more realistically. So I feel like if before you felt like the wool was pulled over your eyes and there were things you weren't seeing, I think that this is your confirmation that if you kind of realize that there were things that this person that was doing was towards you was kind of toxic or not right or unfair, I think you're kind of realizing that maybe you were making excuses for them, or maybe you weren't looking too closely in what they were saying. And now I think since you've been working on cleansing and like just recharging, I think that the universe right now is kind of helping you look at things from a more grounded perspective towards the situation, and also look at this person and analyze and assess whether this really is what's best for you. I think you're seeing this in a pretty realistic light, and I think one thing that you're noticing is that you may be further along on your journey than this person is, and that doesn't make either of you better or worse than each other. It just means that they may not be the most aligned with where you're at right now. So let's go ahead and, if that resonates, let's go ahead and see how your crush is viewing you. So for you guys, we are using the New Moon Tarot, and I quickly wanted to mention while I was shuffling that if this reading resonates and you're enjoying it and you're hungry for more for seconds, there will be an extended, which will be linked below underneath the timestamps, where we are going to be looking at the truth of this connection. So why you're drawn to this person, why you have a crush on them, and what this is teaching you, what you need to know. And then we're going to see what action you're being guided to take towards yourself and this connection. And then we're going to get further channeled messages, because we are going to get channeled messages in the free reading. And we're going to get channeled messages from your person, channeled messages from spirit. There also will be an appearance from a mega deck, so beware of that. And we'll finish off with advice. So if you're interested in that, that will be linked below. But I'm going to give these one more good shuffle, and then we will get into... Okay, Spirit, how does pile 2's crush see pile 2? Okay, we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And one more, please. We have the Sun in reverse, which is interesting. So they popped out as the moon. Okay. So now, Spirit, can you clarify the Two of Pentacles, please? We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. What about the Lovers, please? Can you clarify that? We have the Page of Wands upright. What about the Ten of Wands? We have the Seven of Pentacles. What about the Ten of Pentacles in reverse? We have the Six of Wands in reverse. And what about the Sun in reverse, please, Spirit? we have the Five of Wands upright. And on the back of the deck, we have the King of Wands upright, which is interesting because there's another stag here. Okay. And it's also very interesting because the King of Wands was on the back of the deck in the last reading I did. So if you were drawn to pile 1, you might have 2 crushes to ask about. But, okay. What's underneath that? The Ace of Wands. Okay. I definitely think that this person, that your crush sees you as more powerful and more accomplished than they are. In fact, I would say that they see themselves more so as the Page of Wands than the King of Wands. But wands are fire, so Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius energy could be significant. I mean, we have Leo energy with the Sun and Gemini energy with the Lovers. So if you have any air or fire, that could be confirmation for you. But what I really see here is this person, this is the frustrating thing. Like, this person does have, like, you're not off base and thinking that this person does want something real with you or does see something real with you. They do. I think the problem is that they don't see themselves as ready to step up to this yet. Like with the King of Wands, I feel like they see you as somebody who's really ready to be with someone, or someone who doesn't need, they see you as someone who doesn't need anyone and certainly doesn't need them. I feel like they view you, they put you on a pedestal, and they definitely view you as better than them and more evolved than them. And with the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like this person might think that there's someone better out there for you. Or with this Two of Pentacles, Seven of Cups in reverse, this person, I'm just going to be completely honest when I say this, I think that it's quite possible that they may maybe non-committal because they like having people cater to them. And I don't think that this is something conscious of theirs. And actually, I don't even think that this is necessarily related to relationships. But I think there's an element here where this person is, you're the type of person that your crush is typically drawn to. Like, you have your stuff together, you're very caring, you're very nurturing. But the thing is that this person respects you too much to use you, which I know sounds really messed up, but I actually think that that's the truth. With the Two of Pentacles here and the Seven of Cups in reverse, I think that this person has a very low self-esteem and does not see themselves as very valuable. In fact, a lot of their energy is kind of in this darkness. And I think that when they look at you, they have to face their own darkness, and that's incredibly uncomfortable. In fact, you know, it's interesting. We have this we have to start off with the fact that you are way more mature than your crush is, and your crush even knows that because they're coming out as the Page of Wands, and it's like literally Bambi is like curled up here. This person could have mother issues, or they definitely have family issues. So they could have had parents that divorced, or they could have had a really unstable home life. Even if they're, like, for example, if they had parents that were in a stable relationship, I don't think that these parents paid much attention to them. Like, no matter what their family situation was, your crush's family situation was, I think that they were brought up to have low self-esteem and feel insecure and feel unsafe around others. I feel like this person does not view family units very highly. And I also think that this person doesn't believe that they have the capability to succeed. Like, if they wanted to build their own family and their own legacy, this person doesn't believe that they could do it. Like, even just with this Ten of Pentacles here, like, I feel like this person has aspirations to be as, like, I wanted to say as successful as you. So if you're more successful than this person, that could be a sign. or this person has ambitions to just be very successful and abundant, but they don't have any confidence in themselves, and they don't believe in their ability to do that. I think they see you and they feel more insecure. I think that they see all of the wonderful qualities within you, and I think that you trigger them because they have to look at everything within themselves that they're not currently looking at or working on. So for them, it's like, if you're aware that this connection can be something special, this person is they either know that deep down and ignore it, or they're not even mature enough to realize yet that this could be something really special. I don't think that they're focused on romantic relationships or anything like that. In fact, they almost wonder why you even waste your time talking to them. I feel like this person carries a lot of burdens, but I also think that they choose to carry these burdens because it's easier than facing themselves. I think that there's a lot of darkness within them that they don't want to face, and I think that they would rather wait to look at themselves another day, wait to see the truth of themselves when it. I feel like they're assuming that one day they'll wake up and have things figured out, and the thought of changing right now is too overwhelming to them. And so it's almost like this person, they use substances, they might use sleep, or really anything they can to kind of avoid the truth of things. And with the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like they do their best to keep themselves distracted and keep themselves not thinking about their trauma or their wounds or things like that. And so with the Five of Wands and the Sun in reverse, how they see you, I think you make them really happy. Like, they have so much fun when they're around you, but it's a sick kind of happiness where it's like, in order to feel that happiness and that fun with you, they have to being around you illuminates things within them that they don't want to acknowledge about themselves, that they don't want to deal with, that they don't want to fix, because that just seems like too big of a task to do, and it just seems too overwhelming. And this person is living under the assumption right now that they're going to wake up one day and their problems are just going to be fixed. Like, they're just going to have it all figured out. And they think the reason why they're not meant to, like, the reason why things aren't getting better is because, oh, they just have a lot on their plate, like, this is just a more difficult time, and like, they'll get it all figured out and they just have to wait it out. And I think what they're seeing you, and they're actively fighting this connection. They're holding themselves back. They might also think that you can do way better, and that they might have competition. And if there is competition for your attention, I think that this person is already thinking like, well, I would lose anyway, so what's the point in fighting? They have a very defeatist attitude, I'm not gonna lie. And I think that they have a lot of illusions within themselves that they deem as truth. And with the Lovers card being here, I think that this person I don't think that they have a good, I don't think that healthy love was ever modeled to them, and I don't think they know what that is. And I think that if they see potential with you, I think that they are replaying their fears of maybe what happened with their parents in their head, or maybe just fears of messing it up. It's like, this person can't take another blow to their ego, because it seems like their whole life has been one blow to their ego. But that's the thing, is that they don't even realize that their ego is the one running the show, and their ego is the one that is so desperately like trying to avoid any vulnerability, anything challenging, anything that challenges them to think that maybe they're better than they thought they were. Like, they literally hold themselves back because to them, it's easier to give up than fight. Like, this is the type of person who would say it's better to never love at all than it is to love and lose, because this person doesn't take losing well, and they don't take failing well. And I think that they view themselves as a failure. And if I'm being honest, like, this is a really, really sad energy. Like, I'm really sad for this person. Like, and I understand why you would want to help this person and why you would want to be there for this person. I can understand why this is a sad situation for you, because as much as you want to be there for this person and as much as you may care about them and have a crush on them and want something more here, I think there's a part of you that knows that this person just isn't in that place, and that you guys are in two different places, and that choosing this situation might be choosing self-betrayal. I think that this is a difficult situation where it's like you can't go off of how this person sees you, because they don't really see things very accurately. Well, I mean, you should go off of how this person sees things, because even though they might not be seeing things very accurately, they're seeing things as how they perceive them to be, and their perception is their truth, and their truth is so overwhelming that it's stopping them from developing themselves more. But I also think that there's an element here where there's a lot of procrastination. There's not a willingness, like I think the reason, I mean, I think that you're accurately picking up that this person has a toxic perspective and that they're not a healthy person to be engaged with, which I don't know why I said it that way. Like, this is a crush, not someone you're engaged to, which if you are engaged to this person, I'm not here to tell you what to do. But if you're thinking that marriage is going to fix things with this person, it absolutely is not. But that's the thing. I don't know why that would be the case. But maybe this person, maybe their parents, for example, maybe your person was a save the marriage baby or something like that, and that caused real trauma for them or something like that. Like, I definitely think that this person's upbringing was very traumatic, and I don't think that their toxic perspective is just only their doing. I think it's a perspective of their upbringing, a perspective of their experiences. And when toxic is normal, healthy can seem scary and boring, or can seem boring or not right, or like there's nothing there. And I think that this person needs time and a lot of healing in order to look at things differently, because they don't see themselves in an accurate light. They see you as great, and in fact, they probably see you in a much greater light than you even see yourselves. But that's the problem. They over extend their perception of you to the point where they have an unrealistic perspective of both you and themselves. So they view you as so much higher than they are, and it makes it hard for them to even want to fight to be on your level, because they think that there's, so many more stairs between the two of you than there actually are. And I think one of the biggest problems too is that, you may not judge this person. You may want to, help them or be patient with them through these times. But what you may be realizing is that, like, their perspective is only weighing you down. Like, no matter what, like, things are going to equalize and balance themselves out. And so you may realize, like, I can't bring this person up right now. They're just going to make me drown with them if I keep focusing on them. So I think that this person is almost like seeing you as someone they need to turn away from and hold themselves back from, so that they don't repeat a cycle with you, or heaven forbid, and this is their perspective, you find out that they're not what you think they are, that they're not as great as you think they are. And the thing is that I don't think that this person is like I don't think they're an overt manipulator. I don't think they go out of their way to, like, just harm others. I think that this person just has a very wounded perception of themselves and a very wounded perspective in general. And as a result, they're just looking at things from their own wounding. And I think for you, the heartbreaking thing is that you can love someone, or you can really care about someone. I mean, not saying you love them, but I think this person does see you as someone who is worthy of love, and someone that they wish they could step up to the plate for. But it's like they know that they're not ready. They're not at that place yet. And that's just so far out of their wheelhouse right now. Like, that's not. So instead of seeing you, they're choosing not to see. They're choosing to look away. They're choosing to distract themselves. They're choosing to keep themselves busy, because keeping themselves busy is better than feeling the pain of knowing. And let me just say, this is once again their perspective, feeling the pain of knowing that they're not good enough for you, and they never will be. And that's the thing. You might be sitting there like, what? I've never said any of that. You don't have to. It's their perspective. I would be willing to bet you've never said anything like that, but it's their own assumptions. You know what happens when you assume things? You make an ass out of you and me. So I think that this person is kind of making an ass out of themselves by assuming these things and jumping to conclusions that aren't real, and they're creating these own burdens in their head that they think will just disappear one day, or that they can fix. But what they don't realize is that it's not going anywhere until they start taking action towards it. So let's go ahead now and get some channeled messages from them and see what they would say to you. I'm just going to use my channeled messages, but I do want to say that some of these are like intense, so if this is just a crush, like take the ones that resonate, and you know, the ones that don't try to force them. Just kind of trying to point out that like not all of them may make sense. So let's see, Spirit, what would pile two's person or crush say to pile two if they could be completely honest? I miss you more than I'm willing to admit. Yeah, so for those of you where this person's like, you know, disappearing. And I think that's the thing too, is like they might go further into their own suffering and pain because they miss you and they don't want to admit that. And so that it's like, yeah, it's just a cycle of pain for this person. It's rough. I've played the role of what people want me to be for so long that I have no idea who I truly am. We also have no hands. Okay, so this is Waka Flocka song. So this person could be really in a, well, I mean, obviously it's great. The way you got me moving got me in a trance. DJ, turn me up. Ladies, this your jam. I'ma sip Moscato and you gonna lose them pants. And I'ma throw this money while you do it with no hands. So I think that a lot of this person's dreams, or a lot of this person's like aspirations, are more egoic in nature, and that could also be something that's holding them back, where they really only want to have surface level connections, or they don't really want to do anything beyond like physical connections. I feel like this person, you know, is looking at things from a very egoic place, where and also honestly, it's interesting with no hands, and with the lovers we have two hands holding each other. It's like this person doesn't want to hold someone's hand. This person doesn't want to be an equal partner. This person wants to feel powerful over other people. This person wants to feel valuable and feel like they matter. And right now their idea of value and worthiness is around I just heard like guns and drugs, which I don't know what that's about, but like I think it's things like well, no, and I'm hearing the Lady Gaga song, Jewels and Drugs. So that might be a significant song, but I think that this person has more egoic aspirations, which the Sun in reverse could talk about as well. And maybe their desire for you conflicts with those egoic aspirations, and maybe this person is like, why can't this isn't even what I want. And basically you're like, okay, so in Harry Potter, if you've ever heard of like the Mirror of Erised, it's like a mirror that shows you like what your deepest desires are. You're like a reverse Mirror of Erised for this person, where you show them like everything that's wrong with them, and even though that's not your intention, it's just how this person is perceiving it. And I feel like you need to know that's not your fault. And like it literally, it's not your fault that you're in a better place and that you've done more to work on yourself and evolve than they have. But unfortunately, people who are unhealed and people with their own wounds will project whatever they see or believe onto you, rather than see what's really there or entrust. We also have, I'm so used to mirroring people's energy toward me that it's hard to know what my authentic feelings are. Yeah, so I definitely think that this person can just match whatever is going on in order to keep the peace. But what else, Spirit? Okay. Yeah. We have, I rely on others to help me feel safe because I'm afraid of taking responsibility for myself. Yeah. So if this person also has like toxic family members, or like, you know, family members in their ear, like they might, you know, rely on friends or family that they know isn't good for them, but that they're too afraid to step away from. Yeah, it scares me how powerful my feelings are for you. And I think that it also scares them how powerful their feelings are when it comes to like facing themselves as well. So it's just like, it's just too much for them. Bottom of the deck is, I don't understand why I can't move on from you. Yeah, so this person I do think is trying to move on from you, trying to move away from you, and that might be really painful to hear, but I feel like what you need to know is that it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with the fact that they can't face their reality, so they'll do anything to escape it. Thank you, Spirit, for confirming that for me. But we have two more to look at. I'm afraid to stray out of my family/society's expectations of me. I feel safer making others happy. So yeah, especially if they're still involved with their family, I think that they could literally be doing what makes them unhappy and what makes them feel unsuccessful and feel bad because they feel like they can't do it. They couldn't be successful on their own. And if I were honest about who I am, you wouldn't want me anymore. So all the yellow here goes to show how deeply rooted in ego this person is. But with the heart cards here, they definitely are aware that they have feelings for you, but they don't know what those really are, and they don't know how to deal with that. So let's go ahead and get some advice for you now before we move things over to the extended. But let's see what this is. I'm excited to see where our connection is headed, but that was reversed. So it's like, yeah, this person is like, they are literally trying to run away. And if you told them anything that they didn't want to hear, they're too prideful to admit you're right. So that's that. But let's go ahead and see what advice Spirit has for you when it comes to this situation. So to start, we have trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. So I feel like one thing you need to know about this situation is that this may not be a case where like you need to stay away from this person forever, or that this person will be like that forever. But what you do need to trust is where both of you are at, and trust that there's a reason for this. Like if things aren't working out, there's a reason for it, and there's things to do and to learn and ways to grow in the meantime. I feel like you're being asked to look at how you can grow from this situation and trust that there's a reason for it. And also trust that like if this person is meant to be in your life, or you feel intuitively like they are meant to be in your life, trust that they can grow and evolve as well, but they may need time and space to do that. And that time may not line up with what you would ideally want. And so that doesn't mean you have to wait on someone, but it does mean that you have to let go in order to let them, to let things change, if you know what I mean. But I don't mean by that like letting go completely, but like letting go of what you want to happen for now in order to surrender to what is and trust the cycles. I feel like Spirit is saying that there's more to learn, and things will shift, and once you work through this cycle, you'll either realize like, oh, this connection was showing me that I deserve better, or oh, this connection has been fuel for us both to evolve if this person evolves with you. We'll look in the extended what the truth of this connection is, but I think that if you're not going to check that out, one thing that you need to know is that you're allowed to trust whatever you feel this connection is. You don't need confirmation necessarily, but you have to also trust in the cycles of time. Like if you know something isn't happening right now, you have to be willing to let go and let things happen and let things change. And sometimes that takes time. But we also have surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So I especially think that if you can channel any frustration or any like frustrating energy you have into creativity, that could be helpful. But I also think being creative could bring you a lot of wisdom and a lot of awareness that you may not have about yourself or the situation before. But we also have the energy is gaining momentum. So I do think that you both may be in this process of transformation, or there may be like you might have a reunion with this person or something like that, or this person might reach out to you with the energy is gaining momentum, or some sort of energy that you are meant to be aware of as a result of this connection is gaining momentum. I would take this one as it resonates. But we also have, I can do less and attract more. So I do think one energy that is meant to gain momentum with you is to know that you don't chase, you attract. And in fact, you can just sit there in completion and trust that you can attract all that you need, that you don't need to go out and chase whatever it is, that like you can bring things to you. And the more you trust in that and trust in these cycles and the ability to receive and to attract, the easier it will be to let go and not feel like you need to know what's going on. And finally, we have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So I think that this kind of speaks to not just this person or the situation, but everything. Like, if there's a grieving process attached to maybe letting go of this person, I feel like you need to give yourself time to honor that. Grief is a sign that love was present, and you don't necessarily need to have to say like I love you to someone, or have I love yous exchanged, or have a real relationship to still grieve someone or grieve a situation. But I also think that your person might go or like your crush might go through this too. And I think really any challenging situations there are, like, I feel like you're meant to look at any grief that you have around this situation as an opportunity to look at things from a different perspective, rather than like beat yourself up about it and think that it was your fault or like you were doing something wrong, because you weren't. I think that this person just needs time to grow and evolve, and that you deserve the freedom to do what makes you happiest in the meantime, and know that you're not bound to this person. And it may be hard to like realize that you're not bound to this person, and that maybe one of the hardest things you can do is choose to live anyway when this person isn't showing up and that's all you really want. But I think more than anything, what you need to know is that there is wisdom in this situation, and there is a reason why you're going through this. Obviously, for those of you who want to meet me in extended, we will look at that. But I think no matter what, there is value to this situation. You just need to be open to it and trust what is shown to you over time about this situation, because I don't think that this is a situation that you're going to wake up with clarity on just magically one day. I think it's going to happen gradually over time. So pile 2, I think that is where I am going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads or just letting them play in the background while you do something else. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me and my channel. But if you would like to support me and my channel in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates, and you can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. Sorry, I'm burping. Also be sure to go check out the Hermit Tarot's video to see who is crushing on you, because maybe there is somebody there that you need to hear about that could keep you occupied in the meantime, or that could take you on a grand adventure. Who knows? But yeah, I also have my social media linked down below, though do be aware there are tons of scammers pretending to be me. So just know that I will not reach out to you offering a personal reading, because I don't offer personal readings, because I literally do not have time or energy to do that. So if someone messages you pretending to be me, they're a scammer. And I have merch linked below. But that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for being here. Oh, and you can support me by purchasing the extended, which is linked below. But that's where I'm gonna go. So thank you guys so much for everything, and for letting me read your cards, and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Aquamarine point as well as the Santa Muerte Tarot, this is going to be your reading on how your crush is seeing you. So I will quickly mention that I talked a lot in the intro about how this reading is going to work and helpful tips and advice. So if you ask me a question that I answer in the intro, I'm gonna send you right back there with peace and love. But I did quickly want to mention that what we're going to be doing here is seeing first how you are seeing yourself and how you are seeing your crush over here. And these two cards will be the objective energy between you and your crush. And so this should be what confirms that this is your pile. However, if you check this part and you can't find yourself at all, but you can find someone that sounds like your crush, I would pick that pile, because things are just going to be flip-flopped for you, and the tarot portion is going to represent how you see your crush, and the energy check part is going to be how your crush sees you, if that makes sense. So I guess the point of what I'm trying to say is that ideally this part is how you see yourself and your crush, and then the tarot is how your crush sees you. But if it's flip-flop, that's okay, because in each pile we're doing both perspectives. Now, if you can't find your pile, I would say, or you can't find one that resonates, I would say there's likely not a message for you in this reading, but definitely still go check out Hermit's video and see if there is anyone crushing on you. So let's go ahead and start by looking at how you are seeing yourself. So to start, we have the Ace of Cups, we have Identify, and we have Express Yourself. And then as for your crush, you are seeing them as the King of Pentacles, Restore, and Dismantle Your Fears. And then the objective energy between the two of you is being represented by Rainbow Road. You are on the right path, higher self, alignment, authenticity, and caring connections. Oh, this is lovely. So I definitely would say that this is not a crush. If you're asking about a person that you hardly know, or that you haven't, that you feel like maybe doesn't know you exist or hasn't been involved too much, I don't know if this is your pile, because I definitely think that this is a connection where I think even though this is a crush, maybe this is kind of, at least from your perspective, maybe a long time coming. Because let's talk about how you're seeing yourself, with the ring being here representing the Ace of Cups. You know, aces are representative of beginnings, and cups obviously represent emotions. And what I find really interesting about this Ace of Cups being represented by a ring is it makes me think of this song from Girl Scouts that says, make new friends but keep the old, one is silver but the other's gold, a circle is round, it has no end, that's how long I want to be your friend, which is just straight bars and wonderful. But I feel like this applies to you in the sense that I think that you have realized that your feelings for this person kind of have no end. And I think that you are starting to identify and recognize what is happening internally when it comes to this connection and your crush on this person. And I think you're starting to recognize that you have to speak your truth, or you're identifying what it is that you need to be honest with about this person. I feel like you're wanting to tell your crush how you see them. And I think that you are recognizing that you're in a healthy place right now. Like with the objective energy here being caring connections, I definitely think that you and this person mutually care about each other. And I definitely think that there have been some sweet moments between the two of you where it's like, this kind of gives me the energy of like, everybody knows that you and this person have a crush on each other except for you and this person, or you may know deep down but you both doubt it. Like this is a very like, oh, will you shut up and kiss already kind of like energy, which is really sweet. I feel like, but I think you both are very cautious with each other, and I think that that's what we're seeing here with this, with you seeing your crush as the King of Pentacles, as well as Restore and Dismantle Your Fears. I feel like you're viewing your crush as someone who is in the process of becoming solid and dependable, or who already is solid and dependable. With the King of Pentacles here, I feel like you could be seeing this person as an ideal partner. I think you're seeing your crush as someone that's almost like a rock to you, even if you don't see this person very often, it's almost like their presence and their energy has taught you so much about yourself and help you become a more solid person to yourself as well. But I feel like you see your crush as someone who's a little stubborn, or someone who's fixed in their energy. I kind of see a little bit of a cheeky joke here with the fossil. If your crush is older than you, you might see your crush sometimes as like, especially if there's a gap between generations. Like, for example, if you're Gen Z and this person's a millennial, or if you're a millennial and your person or your crush is Gen X, like there might be some jokes here about like the differences between your generations. I would honestly really enjoy like Gen X between Boomer. I really want to know what that looks like. So if there's any Gen X's crushing on Boomers, let me know. Let me know what kind of jokes happen, because I'm curious. But I definitely think that you and your crush are both trying to follow your truth. And I think you're seeing your crush as someone who is at a distance from you right now, either like physically, or they may have withdrawn from you, but I don't see you getting upset about this or really being too bothered by it. In fact, this may be something common for your crush, or maybe you and your crush kind of have these periods where you come into contact and then you don't. I feel like this is something where you and your crush haven't really told each other how you feel. I'm definitely curious to see what your crush is how your crush is seeing you, because the objective energy being caring connections and Rainbow Road, I definitely feel like you and your crush were meant to meet each other. And I think that you're recognizing that the feelings that you have for your crush are not going anywhere, and that you need to, and I think you're seeing yourself as someone who needs to, like, you want to tell this person the truth, but maybe you're afraid, or maybe you are, for example, maybe you're kind of avoiding your crush instead, because maybe you still have some fears around this situation and you need time. You're giving them and yourself space to kind of like restore your energy. I do feel like this isn't, you're seeing this connection as very intense, and I think this person does as well. But there's a lot of illumination that comes from this connection. So the fact that we have Rainbow Road and caring connections, it's like you and this person, no matter what roads you take, like, you know, the word, like the phrase, all roads lead to Rome. Like, I feel like you and this person are realizing that all roads kind of lead to each other and yourselves in like a weird way, where it's like, no matter how long you've known this person, I think that you're learning a lot about yourself through them. And I think that there is a real energy of keeping up appearances and trying to play things really, really cool between the two of you. Like, I think it's so interesting that you both are objects rather than animals or something else like that. So I really feel like you both are trying to show up in the material realm in a really solid and stable way. But I think that you both are feeling a little bit unstable, at least internally. At least I think you're recognizing that within yourself, and you're recognizing that within your crush. I think you're seeing your crush as either taking time away from you to kind of restore their energy and work through their fears around this connection. Maybe this is like the first time you and this person have had a crush like this, or maybe the first time in a long time, or maybe it's the first time you've had a crush on someone where you feel like this is really different, or this is not just the same bullshit in a different meat suit. You know what I mean? I think you know that your crush is different, and I think you're seeing them as someone who you want to give space and time to work through their fears and gather their energy, because I think you care about them and you recognize that their silence is not necessarily disinterest, but it's, you know, them maybe kind of working through their own emotions. But I also think you see this person as maybe more stubborn and maybe a little bit more afraid of the connection than you are. I think you're recognizing that you may have to be the one to tell this person how you feel or express this crush, because it seems like this person could stay. I think you're seeing them as someone who could kind of be slower than molasses. Like, I think you're kind of seeing your crush as someone who's really stubborn, and you might have to be the one to let go of your fears around this situation, or let go of your inhibitions about being honest with this person, because I think that you're realizing that it's in your highest good to do that. And I think you and this person with this objective energy being here, I think are recognizing that there's a significance to this connection, and you may not know what that is yet, but I think you both care about one another. And if you've known this person for a long time, like if you've been through a bit of a transformation with them, or you've seen them grow and change, like I think it's very fitting that you would choose the Santa Muerte Tarot, because that represents the death card in tarot, in the tarot deck. And the death card represents endings, rebirths. It's Scorpio energy. It's really deep, it's intense, it's transformative. And so I think that if you've known this person for a long time, and you've either never expressed this crush, or maybe you both have maybe you've seen this person as someone you need to be friends with, or someone that you've been kind of just standoffish with, or maybe you've never opened up to them about your feelings. I think you're being honest with yourself about your feelings now, and I think you're seeing your crush as someone who you want to be honest with about this, but you're giving them ample space to work on themselves and work on their fears, so that you're not pushing them. I feel like you have reached this point where you understand that you can't force anything, and you're kind of just allowing things to go with the flow and trusting what your higher self is telling you. But I think that what you're realizing is that you're seeing your crush as someone that is always going to be a special person to you. And I think you're seeing your feelings as something that, even if you've been through highs and lows with this person, or even if your feelings have fluctuated for this person, I think you're realizing that they're something that are not going to go away, and that your feelings for this person are endless. So I think you're starting to understand them, so that you can potentially express that. So this is juicy. So I'm very curious to see how your crush is seeing you, because there's definitely at the very least care here. But I think you are noticing that your crush may be a little bit afraid of you, or a little bit standoffish, or afraid of the intensity or the intimacy of this connection. So I'm going to go ahead and give these a couple good shuffles. And I quickly wanted to mention, while I am shuffling, that if this reading resonates and you are hungry for a second still, once it is done, there will be an extended version of this reading, which will be linked underneath the timestamps or above them, I can't remember. But what we're going to see in the extended is what the truth of this connection is. So like, why do you have a crush on this person? What is the purpose of this crush in your life? They've been very, very illuminating so far, and very juicy in terms of the ones I've already filmed. And then we will see what action you should take towards this connection, if any. And then we will get more channel messages from your person. There will be a mega deck, which we are getting channel messages in the free reading as well, so don't worry. But yeah, and then we'll get channel messages from Spirit, and final advice and guidance specifically from Kali Ma. So if you are interested in that, that will be linked below. And of course, be sure to check out Hermit's video if you haven't. But let's give these one more good shuffle. That was a bad shuffle, so one more good shuffle, and then we will be ready to see how your crush is seeing you. All right, I think that's about as good as we can do with cardstock like this. So, Spirit, how is pile 3's crush seeing them at this time? Okay, we have the 3 of Swords. It's actually a really powerful 3 of Swords. With we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. We have the 4 of Swords in reverse. And one more, please. We have the Queen of Pentacles upright. Okay, I'm gonna move these in a little bit. So if you've been perceiving your person as kind of going through some darkness, or going through a difficult period, you're definitely correct about that. I don't think that their retreat from you really has anything to do with you, but more so circumstances in their life. So can we clarify the Three of Swords, please? We have the Star. Oh yeah, this is actually really, really precious. What about the Four of Pentacles in reverse, please? We have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, what about the... Oh my God, and you are seeing your person or your crush as the King of Pentacles. They're seeing you as the Queen. Good shit. Okay, with the... Clarifying the Ace of Swords in reverse, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. What about the Four of Swords in reverse? We have the Eight of Cups in reverse. And how about the Queen of Pentacles upright? We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Wands in reverse. Okay. Yeah, your person... Okay, so your crush is definitely going through something right now. So you're not off touch in thinking that they've needed some time away, because they have. In fact, they are going through their biggest fears right now when it comes to connection, specifically a connection with you. I don't know how much history there is between the two of you, but no matter what, I definitely think that they are seeing you, first of all, with the Star here. You could be an Aquarius, or you could have Earth energy, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You certainly don't have to. But they are seeing you as someone who helps heal them. With the Three of Swords being here, what I really got from this was, you know, it looks like this could look either way depending on how you see it. It could look like the skeleton's putting the swords in the skeleton's back, but I saw it to look like this skeleton is taking the swords out of the skeleton's back. And that's how I think they see you, especially with the Star and this healing energy. With this Star, like, I think this person sees you as just above and beyond anything they could ever imagine. Like, I'm seeing a specific image, and it's from a Narnia movie. I think it's the one with Prince Caspian in it. It's like I just heard Voyage of the Dawn Treader? Is that it? That's just what I heard. That's what I heard. So that might be right, that might not be right. But in that, there's a scene where this lady inside of a star, it's like it's the same, really close to the girl from Avatar: The Last Airbender, that was the moon, Yue. It's like kind of like that. But this girl comes down from a star, and like Prince Caspian is like, his jaw's on the floor. He's like completely enamored by her, like, of course, because he's like seeing a star. And I really think that this is how your crush like genuinely sees you. I think they see you as someone that gives them hope, someone that's literally helping heal them. But I think what they're not... Actually, what they may be realizing, finally, is that they've been the ones continuing their own pain. And I think that if they did anything towards you in the past, I think that they are also learning to forgive themselves for that, especially if you forgave them a long time ago. I don't think that they necessarily have, and I think that's something that they're working through here. But also, I think what they're realizing, they're seeing you as someone that is giving them hope, someone that is making them realize that their future can be better than their past, and that they're more than they think they are. In fact, I think that with the Queen of Pentacles here as well, this person is seeing you as a solid and dependable partner, and someone that they want to be in a partnership with, but they're recognizing that they need to get their ish worked out first. Like with the Four of Pentacles in reverse with the Page of Pentacles, they're seeing you as worthy of so much more than they have to offer right now. And so that's part of why they are retreating. It's like they're seeing you as someone they want to take action towards, but they know it's not the right time yet for whatever reason. They are definitely holding back on giving you clarity of some kind. They really want to talk about what happened in the past between the two of you, or if this is a newer person, if this is a newer crush, they really want to tell you what happened in their past that led them to this point, that led them to see things a certain way, that maybe led them to push you away. Because with this Page of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse, they're seeing you as someone that they can't get away with their crap with. And I think if they tried that in the past, they're realizing that they can't get away with that stuff with you. And I think one thing that they're realizing is that this is not something that they can just bury and end. With the Ten of Swords here, I think this person has tried to push you away in multiple times, and maybe vice versa. And I think what they're realizing is that they would be actually really fucking stupid if they did try to permanently end things with you. I think it's really interesting that we have this moth here. It reminds me of Silence of the Lambs almost. And I really think that your crush is seeing you as someone who hasn't given up on them, and I think that scares the shit out of them. I think they're either used to people giving up on them, or they're used to people not being as genuine and pure as you are. With the Queen of Pentacles here, I think that this is the first time, you're the first person that they've experienced be very like nurturing, but also like reliable and dependable and practical with them in a way where I feel like you don't I feel like you've just always been really patient and generous and kind with them. And I think what they're realizing is that if they don't learn how to move forward from what's not working and what's holding them back from being in an authentic relationship, they're going to miss out on you. Like with this, yeah, okay, yeah. So they're seeing you and recognizing that they need to let go of whatever doubts and fears are holding them back, because they know that they can't do this forever, obviously. And I think they're waiting, they're seeing you and waiting for like the right opportunity to come forward with something, like to take action towards you, whether it's through like an apology or something like that. I feel like they're trusting their intuition to take action towards you, but I think that they are definitely seeing you as someone that they owe an explanation, and I think that they're very afraid of giving you that. I think they're very afraid of revisiting their past or revisiting parts of themselves that they're very ashamed of. But I think that they're also recognizing that a lot of their lack of clarity around this situation has come from the fact that they've refused to kind of deal with the emotions around you, and they've kind of avoided them instead. I think that they've worked really hard on trying to just become more solid in general. But I'm also seeing a story progression here, which is really interesting. So if you've been, this is only going to apply if you have history with this person. I think what's interesting, if you have history with this person, I don't think either of you have ever really truly told each other the depth or extent of your feelings, which makes sense as to why this is considered a crush reading, because you both do still have crushes on one another that you haven't admitted. But I think that this person, if you have a history with them, they may have seen you in the past as someone maybe more codependent or more needy and young, someone who was just kind of starting on their own journey, and that maybe they felt like you two were on a more even playing field. But I think what they realize is that if they hurt you in the past, it's like they didn't realize who you were. Like they didn't realize your significance yet. And I think that they really ruminate on what they did in the past and how they may have hurt you. Like, especially if like they might be seeing you as the Page of Pentacles in the past and themselves as the Page of Wands, where you were always kind and gracious with them even when they weren't. And I think they're seeing you and realizing that this is not something that they can move on from, because if they try to, it's devastating. Like, it's like they would be ending something that gives them life. Like, they would be, but I think what they're realizing is that they have to end what's presently in their life. They have to walk away from what's presently in their life that's stopping them from being more authentic with you and being able to take action and move forward with you. With that 8, with that double 8, it's like they're seeing you as honestly building a ladder to success, and they want to be a part of that, but they know that they're nowhere near as solid as you right now. And so I think that's why they are kind of going, what I think is so interesting, the fact that we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. I think that you both are seeing each other as an ideal partner, as an ideal person, that, you know, you both, you know, are in alignment with one another, or there's a deep connection there where you both authentically feel like this is something special. And I think this person knows that this is something special, but they're not ready to be authentic with you until they have concrete evidence of the fact that they are changing and that they are growing. It's almost like they don't want to make promises to you that they can't keep. So they're kind of going within and intentionally withholding clarity or the truth from you, because they almost want to have a more set story and a more set energy when they come towards you. It seems like right now there's a lot of chaos in their personal life. And I think that they went through a really deep grieving process when it comes to you, if there was a past between the two of you. But if this is a newer connection, then I think that this person is recognizing that if they don't get over or work through what holds them back and keeps them afraid of being intimate with you, or being intimate in general, or opening themselves up to you, that they're going to miss out on an opportunity for something real. And I think they recognize that they don't want to do that. And so it's like they're holding back on taking action from you until they know that they can take action from a place that's aligned and authentic with their truth, rather than making things worse. It's like this person could have like an Aries moon, or maybe a fire moon or something like that, where they just, I feel like this person takes a lot of impulsive action, and they might even kind of try to escape from what they've done in the past. But I think they're seeing you as what gives them hope, and what they're realizing is they're seeing you as a treasure that they didn't realize was there before. It's like you were hiding in plain sight the whole time. Like, you've had so many answers for them, and I think that they're realizing that there's things that they need to heal in order to be able to meet you at your level and you know, be as solid as you, because I think that they really care about you, and they care about this connection, and they're realizing that they're gonna lose it, or they're gonna miss out on genuine happiness if they avoid what needs healing, and they're just gonna continue a destructive cycle that they don't want to be in. And I think that one thing that they're realizing is that I've literally tried to move. If this is a past person, they've literally tried to move on from you. I don't think that you guys have ever mentioned your crushes or really anything, or been honest about your feelings. And I think they've tried to move on from you and be okay with the idea that things didn't work out. And it's like they've tried to do that, but I think they've also realized, I'm hearing that song again, a circle is round, it has no end. I think that they are realizing that their feelings for you are something that is not going to end anytime soon. And so they've got to deal with what's stopping them from coming forward, what's stopping them from being authentic and intimate with you, because otherwise they're going to miss out on an opportunity for happiness. And I think what they're seeing is you are like their dream person, and you have the ability to really, really hurt them. And I think that they're realizing, though, that is not something that is your fault. That is, you're just being yourself, you know, and you're not. And their own distrust with other people and their own fears of being vulnerable with others is something that they have to address and realize. And so I think they're seeing you as an inspiration for them to heal, and the motivation for them to get better and grow. But right now, they're seeing you as their hope. to kind of get out of their own way and start building a ladder out of their own darkness and out of what holds them back. I think that they're very impressed by your own evolution. Even if you met just recently, I think that they're fascinated by your story and how much you've grown and evolved. And if they've known you for a long time, they've seen you grow and evolve. And I think that you've just only gone to prove them more and more wrong. And while that's difficult for them to admit to themselves, they're realizing that if they don't accept this truth and start working through what's holding them back, they're gonna kick themselves for the rest of their lives for it. So they're definitely seeing you as their ideal sort of person, but they're also seeing you as like kind of the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of getting through what they need to in order to heal and working through limiting beliefs that are stopping them from coming forward. I just kind of have a quick side note that has nothing to do with this reading, but doesn't this Ace of Swords look like skeleton Dwight Schrute? I just love that. So I thought some of you guys might like that too. But we're gonna go ahead and get some channeled messages from this person now and see what they would say to you if they could be completely honest. We will get far more channeled messages in the extended, but I hope you can. As I'm cutting the deck, I feel like you're meant to see this. I'm sorry I can't communicate as much as you want. It has nothing to do with you. I have a lot on my plate. I definitely think too, if your crush has kids or like if they have other people that they're responsible of taking care of, I do think that's part of the reason that's holding them back as well. Like, I think there's some things that are not even their job to heal, but they don't know how to walk away from them quite yet. And I think that there's some necessary endings that this person needs to implement in order to be ready to ascend with you. But, okay, Spirit, what would Pile 3's crush say to Pile 3 if they could be completely honest? I can't face my reality, so I'll do anything to escape it. And how do I know you won't leave me like everyone else? So yeah, this person has ego fears that they're facing. Let's see. Okay, let's look at these. We also have, I would do anything to keep you safe. And I think there's an element of this person maybe protecting you from themselves, where they may have, like keep themselves away from you in order to not implement you in their own healing process and not make you feel like you need to worry about them. I feel like they don't want you to see the dark parts of them. They want you to see which is something that they need to recognize is unrealistic, but anyway. You are so beautiful inside and out. Yeah, like this is the star. Like this person just sees you as magnificent, as like just so radiant, so beautiful, so precious, so special. And you know, only the best is worthy of a star. And so I think that they are trying to become better so that they can even be okay with the idea of being worthy of being near the best, if that makes sense. But we also have, my ego wants to deny this connection, but my soul won't let me. And we have, I'm afraid to stray out of my family / society's expectations of me. I feel safer making other people happy. And having intense feelings embarrasses me and makes me feel weak. So yeah, they could definitely be avoiding you because they are trying to work through their feelings and trying to work through, they could be healing their feelings around intensity and things like that. So there's definitely a lot of ego things that this person is working through, which makes sense because we have a lot of swords energy. But on the back of the deck we have, I see so much about myself that I couldn't see before. Thank you. So I definitely think that this has really nothing to do with you and everything to do with this person's healing process. And I think you're actually doing a wonderful job by just being yourself and doing what is best for you and giving this person the space to heal as well. But I definitely think that I definitely think that there is more to this story, and that this person won't be, I think you'll definitely hear from this person once they come out of this cycle. But we're gonna go ahead and finish the free reading off with some advice for you moving forward. So there we go. What did I say? The return, a new story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together. So Spirit's really saying, like, the space that you're giving this person is giving them the opportunity to return to you in a more authentic and aligned light with this Ace of Wands. But like, they've got to get it worked out first. You know what I mean? They're learning to unblock themselves and get out of their own way. But we also have surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. And I also think as well, because we saw that express yourself in your energy, I think that if you've been holding back being honest with this person, especially if any of their behavior hurts you, I feel like Spirit is asking you to be honest with them about that the next time you can be, because you can be honest with someone and still be kind. And I think, you know, you might be holding back on your authentic feelings or your authentic truth with this person because you don't want to add to their plate or add to their stress or make them upset. And I think Spirit is saying that's a form of people pleasing, and it's not your job to regulate how they react to you setting your boundaries, or, you know, you deserve to have your truth and your needs spoken as well. We also have nothing is yet set in stone. So I think Spirit is really saying, you know, to focus on, you know, staying in a positive energy, focusing on what is best for you. But also I think what you need to know is that nothing in this situation is set in stone, in the sense that if you feel like this person is running away from you or something like that, I definitely don't think that that is the case. But I also think that there's no specific planned meeting next. I think that things are still being kind of worked through and aligned. And I wanted to talk about divine timing really quickly, because, you know, divine timing is not a date in the calendar. It's created every day by our thoughts, our actions, and what we choose to do and not do. So what Spirit is really saying is it's important to stay in alignment with yourself, because that's how you can trust that you're doing what is, that you are putting all of your energy and intention into the most aligned outcome for yourself. We also have, the more I attune my energy with appreciation, the more the universe will deliver. And I think one thing that could be really helpful for you as well is recognizing where you can appreciate how this connection has already shown you things, has already helped you in some way. I think you're really being encouraged to look at things from a more, from a perspective where you're not beating yourself up, and instead looking at how much you've grown from the situation and how much you're learning. But finally, we have imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So I think one thing that you can do as well is, one, I think visualizing a positive outcome here. Like, you both obviously really care about each other. So even just visualizing like this situation, you know, realigning in a beautiful way, you know, thinking about, imagining, you know, the caring connection between the two of you, or paying attention to what your higher self is saying, or paying attention to what your imagination tells you. There might be signs there. I feel like whenever you find your mind running away with you with like worry about this situation or fear that things won't happen the way you want them to, I think Spirit is encouraging you to use your imagination to think about all of the possibilities that could happen and see what this fear is trying to show you so that you can address it. And I also think that you're being encouraged to use your imagination for joyful reasons, and to just enjoy the moment, especially when you're maybe frustrated with how things are moving along. But pile 3, that is where I am going to leave your reading. Be sure to check out Hermit's video and my extended link down below if you want to move things further. But that is where I'm going to leave things. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads or just letting them play in the background while you do something else. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. So thank you to everybody who does that. But if you'd like to support me and my channel and show appreciation for what I do in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also oh, I just got a download, by the way, about this 8 of Wands. This person ruminates about, if you have history with this person, they ruminate about their past actions, and they really beat themselves up for it, and it stops them from wanting to come forward in the present because they're afraid of fucking up again. But anyway, if you would like to support me in other ways, my merch will be linked down below, as well as my social media. Though do be aware that I do not offer personal readings, and anyone pretending to be me on social media offering you a personal reading is a scammer. I only have one Instagram, and I do not offer personal readings. So thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read your cards. I hope that you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Bismuth Alien Head and the Mystic Mondays Tarot, this is going to be your reading all on how your crush is seeing you. If you want to know where I got that alien head, it is none of your bismuth. But really, I actually don't remember, so you'll have to Google it. But I just quickly want to mention before we get into this, we are going to start by looking at how you are seeing yourself and your crush to confirm that this is your pile and your reading. And we'll also look at the objective energy that exists between the two of you. But if you find that you can't find your perspective in this first part, but one sounds like your crush, then it's quite possible that you found your pile. It's just flip-flopped, because no matter what, in every pile, I'm looking at how you see your crush and how your crush sees you. So you should find your pile no matter what. But if you can't find one that resonates, then there's likely not a message for you in this reading. But I would still go ahead and check out Hermit's video to see if someone's crushing on you. And if you have any questions that I talked about in the intro, I will redirect you towards that. But let's go ahead and start by seeing how you are seeing yourself in this situation. So to start, we have the 10 of Wands. We have third eye, and we have past. And then how you're seeing your crush, we have the 2 of Swords. We have masculine, and we have listen to your intuition. And then for the objective energy that exists between the two of you, we have the cosmic highway, the universe is on your side, signs, divine guidance, synchronicity, and we have number 33, door to romance. Okay. I definitely think that you are feeling a little bit burdened by this crush, if I'm being honest. I don't know if for some of you, you have history with this person. That could be indicated here with this past card, and you might be ruminating on the past and wondering, like, are things different? Has this changed? But also, I think for some of you, you might be seeing this crush as triggering things that you've been carrying from your past that you're realizing you need to let go of, that you're ready to discard. I think you're starting to recognize the value of your past experiences. And I also think that you're having a lot of downloads about why you went through certain things. And I think that as you're starting to gain more intuitive insight around this situation and your past and how this all fits together, the more I think you're realizing that you're really weighing yourself down and beating yourself up about this situation and things that occurred in your past. When it comes to how you're seeing your crush, I think that I definitely don't think that your crush is an energy vampire, but I think that your crush on this person is draining you. And here's why. The fact that we have the 2 of Swords being here, I think that you overthink this situation a lot. And it's quite possible, this could have been a situation where there could have been a false start with this crush in the past, or maybe you've just been friends with this crush, but you feel like there's something deeper, or the potential for something to be deeper. I feel like you're looking at your crush as having a decent balance between their feminine and masculine energy. The fact that we have the masculine card here, and then also listen to your intuition. I think you trust that your crush is someone pretty intuitive, and also someone that is bold enough to take action when they feel it's right. But I also think that if you resonate with being a more masculine person, you might feel like your crush emasculates you, or you might feel like you're not strong enough yet to be on their level in some way. You might look at your crush from a perspective of like putting them on a pedestal a little bit. But I also think that you might be kind of, if you're communicating with this person a lot, you might be kind of going crazy because things might be very normal on the surface and maybe even kind of constrained and restricted, but there might be this underlying tension that could be like physical tension, if you know what I mean, or tension to speak the truth. I definitely think for both of you, there's this mutual ascension process happening for the both of you right now in terms of this cosmic highway card. And the fact that we have 3 here twice, 33, which is also a master number, I think you both are in this process of ascension, and you both are recognizing that this crush, at least on your end, it's opening you to a lot, it's making you aware of a lot of the blockages that you have around love, around crushes, and what is maybe stopping you from being more open. I think that you are starting to, maybe you've awakened spiritually recently, and maybe this spiritual awakening has caused you to look at your crush in a different light. Maybe you looked at them in a different light before you awakened, or maybe you're realizing that things that you thought that they did in the past, or the way that you looked at the situation in the past, isn't really serving you anymore, that it's maybe not rooted in reality, or it's carrying more burdens than you realize. I think that you're starting to be aware that there may have been, whether this relates to your crush or whether it just relates to your path in love, I think that you're having a lot of awareness of maybe stories that you were telling yourself that weren't rooted in reality, that were just only serving to make you feel like you need to push people out further and avoid people more. And I feel like with this person, you might be feeling like, I think you're seeing your crush as someone you want to take action towards, with this masculine energy being here, but you're waiting for the right intuitive hit to do it. But I think in the meantime, it's starting to drain, this crush is starting to drain your energy a little bit, because you might be really overthinking about it and not trusting what your intuition is telling you about the situation. Especially if your intuition is telling you something that you don't have evidence of. I feel like you might be ruminating on your past experiences and thinking like, well, this happened before and that happened before. How do I know that this situation isn't just leading to that? But I feel like what Spirit is saying about the energy of this crush is that the universe is encouraging you to keep following this path that you're going down with confidence. And with this, I see this 555 here. So 555 could be a synchronicity letting you know that there's change coming, maybe to the situation even. But with this level up card here, I think you both are in a process of ascension. And I think the universe is giving you both signs related to this connection. And I think with this door to romance, you and your crush are aware that there could be something more here, or something deeper here. But I think you both are aware of the fact that you both may have cages around your heart, or that you may have, we'll have to see when we look at how your crush is seeing you. But in your case, I can definitely see that you're recognizing that you have blockages when it comes to opening yourself up to someone, and you have fears that are draining you around this person or around this crush, that are making you want to be open to romance, but at the same time, it's like you want to put your heart in a cage just to be safe, so that you can like close the door and lock it, and then shut the closet immediately if you need to. Like, I feel like you're kind of one foot in, one foot out in this situation, where you want to be open to it and you're very intrigued by it. But I think at the same time, I feel like Mr. Alien Head wants to sit here. I don't know why, but I just got a download that his name is Herschel. So this is Herschel, the alien. And if the name Herschel is significant, there's some confirmation for you. But everyone, please say thank you, Herschel, for joining us today. Thank you. Herschel, the Bismuth alien. Anyway, I think overall you're just seeing your crush as maybe, I think one thing that you're seeing about your crush is that you can't make assumptions about their actions, and that their actions aren't the entire truth. I feel like you're having to read between the lines intuitively of what they're saying and doing, and I think you're realizing that you also have to be careful not to ruminate and overthink about the situation and this connection and this crush. So if that sounds like the person you are crushing on, let's go ahead and see how they are seeing you, how your crush is seeing you. So I'm burping for some reason, excuse me, but I did quickly want to mention while I shuffle your tarot cards that if you finish this reading and you are hungry for seconds, you want more, there is an extended for this reading, which will be linked below, likely above the timestamps. And in that extended, we are going to be looking at what the truth of this crush is and what you need to know about this crush. That has been a very juicy topic so far with a lot of illuminating guidance. And then we will look at what action you're being guided to take and what action you can take towards yourself too that is most aligned with you. And then we will get more channeled messages from this person, from your person. We're going to do channeled messages in this reading, in the free reading, but we're going to do further channeled messages in the extended as well, and those channeled messages will be in the form of a mega deck. So if you miss mega deck, she will be in the extended, and then we will finish off with final advice and guidance from Spirit and a special message from Kali Ma. So if you're interested in that, that will be linked below. But let's go ahead and see now, Spirit, how does Pile 4's crush see them? Okay, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Star upright. And we have the Fool in reverse. This is interesting. If you were drawn to Pile 3, there might be similarities between Pile 3 and Pile 4. They might even be flip-flop situations. I'm not sure. We have the Ten of Swords. And the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. So the King and Queen of Pentacles also came out in Pile 3. So if you resonate with that, you might want to check it out. But let's see, Spirit, can you clarify the King of... And it actually came out in that spot. That's so interesting. The Queen of Pentacles came out in that last spot. But can you clarify the King of Pentacles, please? Okay, we have the Five of Cups upright and Temperance. Okay. What about the Star, please? We have the Chariot. What about the Fool in reverse? We have the King of Cups upright. What about the Ten of Swords, please? We have the Six of Cups. And finally, what about the Queen of Pentacles, please? We have the Seven of Wands, and the bottom of the deck we have Judgment. Okay, wow. So your crush has actually had some huge realizations. This is really fascinating. And one thing I quickly want to mention that I think I may have forgotten to mention, or maybe I just didn't have that message yet, but if your crush is the one not coming towards you, and your crush is like maybe if you're seeing your crush is not wanting to come towards you or dealing with a draining situation, I think you're right. And I think they are trying to work through this. I think that you may be recognizing that this is not your burden to carry, but I really want to talk about this. So starting with the King of Pentacles in reverse with the Five of Cups upright and Temperance upright, for those of you who have history with this crush, that was something that I was seeing in Pile 3 as well. I definitely think that your crush is seeing themselves as someone, like they're disappointed in their past behavior and the fact that they could have stepped up to the plate and they didn't. What's really interesting is that this Temperance card, even though Temperance talks about balance, this image reminds me of like a diving board. And I'm almost seeing this image of like a high dive. Like, you know, there's those common like tropes in movies where there's someone standing on the high dive and like they really want to jump but they're too afraid. I think your crush is seeing you as someone that they need to, I think they're disappointed in themselves for maybe not being at your level quite yet, or not being as dependable as you would like them to be. But I think that they are hoping that you're being patient with them and hoping that you're not too disappointed in them, because I do think that they are trying to get there. With the Star and the Chariot, this person wants to move forward with you, but they recognize that they have to be in a balanced place. If they see you as the Queen of Pentacles, then I definitely think that they're recognizing that they have to be in a solid King of Pentacles energy. Or if they're seeing you, I don't know if they're seeing you as the King of Pentacles in reverse, unless you are the one that has pushed them away, or you're maybe not communicating with them. If that's the case, then you might be recognizing that maybe they're like, they're overthinking, or you might be picking up on their energy overthinking about you, because they might be seeing you as, if you see yourself as the King of Pentacles or in that state, they might be feeling like you're closed off from them right now, but that's not something that they're being discouraged about. They might find it to be a bit of a bummer, but I think they're really trying to be patient. I think no matter what, your crush is seeing you as someone who has grown a lot and also is a lot more balanced than they used to be, but maybe also is still working on that. With the Star and the Chariot, once again, I just feel like that your crush sees you as someone that they see having a future with, and your crush sees you as someone that they could have a balanced connection with, that they feel like you both could have a lot of fun adventures and do and accomplish a lot together. There's a lot of this is kind of intense for a crush, so I just want to warn you, but like this, I feel like your crush is viewing you as someone that they could potentially have a family with, especially if that's just something that they've always really wanted, or maybe that's something that this person has never wanted, but they realize that they would want with you. With the Judgment card being what's on the back of the deck here, I feel like the biggest thing that your crush has realized is that this is more than a crush. This is something, this is like love before you acknowledge what love is. Like with the King of Cups and the Fool in reverse, I think that your crush may be realizing that this isn't just like lust. There's something really deep here. And not only that, I think that that's part of the reason why your crush may be holding back from you, if they're the one holding back from you. One of you is holding back. So whoever is holding back, if it's your crush, I think they're acknowledging that they want to take this leap of faith forward, but they're not ready to do that quite yet. It's almost like something needs to end before they can reunite with you. And so maybe it's like they're waiting for something to shift, which is actually really interesting, because in pile 3, the 10 of Swords was in reverse. So this could even be, you could be asking about the same person at a different point in time. But what I'm really seeing here, and also if you don't feel drawn to pile 3, just don't listen to a word I'm saying. But I definitely think that your crush is seeing you as someone with really deep feelings, and someone who is very emotionally mature, and also someone who puts up with a lot of foolishness. If you've put up with their foolishness, I think they have like a really deep love for the fact that you haven't like completely chastised them or treated them as in a similar way to others in the past. But with this 10 of Swords and the 6 of Cups, if you do have a history with this person and they hurt you, I think that they hope to, like, I'm hearing the Taylor Swift song right now, Sparks Fly. I'm just hearing the part that says, kiss me on the sidewalk, take away the pain. And I think that this person wants to take away any pain that they may have caused you. I think that they are acknowledging that their rejection of you really stemmed from the fact that they were rejecting themselves, and that there's a deep inner child connection between the two of you. And I think that this person thought that their inner child was dead that they didn't have an inner child. And I think what they're realizing and what they've learned from you is that their inner child is alive and well, and the idea that they could kill it is kind of laughable. I think what they've realized is that they were killing themselves, in the sense of like, they were just making life less rich. They were making life less fun. And I think that if you're the one that hurt your crush, I think that they are seeing you as someone that they want to end any pain that has happened between the two of you. They want to end any hardship and get back to the loving, happy energy that exists between the two of you. And so with the Queen of Pentacles here, I think your crush sees you, if you identify as the Queen of Pentacles or resonate with that label, I think they see you as someone worth fighting for, someone that's very solid, and someone that they also maybe they might feel a bit defensive around you at times, and they might not understand why. I feel like they may have realized that they have some wounds around their father figure or their mother figure, maybe possibly even both, where maybe they took their parents' criticism as attacks, or maybe their parents really did kind of put them down, and maybe they see a similar energy within you that triggers them, even though you don't do the same thing or have the same intention. They might unintentionally be defensive towards you because you might trigger wounds within them that you are completely unaware of, that maybe they are completely unaware of, but are realizing that that's what maybe makes them feel defensive towards you. But I think that if your crush is the one that needs to take action towards this situation, or you're viewing them as needing to take action towards this situation, I think that they are planning to do that. But they are waiting to come from a place of stability. And I think it's like they want to be worthy of fighting for your attention before they try to, I guess. And so with this Judgment card being here, I think one thing that they're realizing is, this Judgment card is so fascinating. I think what they're realizing is that you are kind of a perfect mirror of them, and you've shown them a lot about themselves that they were unaware of before. And I think that they're realizing that there's, oh my gosh, I'm hearing this High School Musical song. I know I'm throwing out just absolute bangers tonight, aren't I? What I've been looking for, it's like the Sharpay and Ryan song, and it's this feeling's like no other. I want you to know that I've never had someone that knows me like you do, the way you do. I've never had someone, it just keeps going, so lonely before I finally found what I've been looking for. And I think that this person realizes that what they were looking for may have been in front of them all along, or that they may have foolishly pushed away what they were looking for, and they might realize that they have to be the ones to fight for your attention or fight for this crush if they've pushed you away. But I think that it's completely understandable if your crush is the one that pushed you away. I think it's completely understandable that you would be looking at them in a more like energy vampire way, because you might be overthinking about this situation or wondering how things will play out. And I feel like what you need to know is that if you have hope for this situation, like so does your person. And not only that, I think that they really do want to fight for this connection and also fight for themselves. So I think that it's this connection is a catalyst for them to realize that it had nothing to do with you to begin with. It had everything to do with their ability to believe in themselves. And I think that they're seeing you as someone that they don't want to disappoint, and that they only want to come forward towards you when they can not only talk the talk but also walk the walk. And what I mean by that is, I think that your crush is fully aware of how deep their feelings are for you, but they feel like they might be disappointed that they're not at a place yet to be kind of at your, that maybe you're doing better than them, or you're further along than them from their perspective. And so they might be thinking like, I don't want to come forward until like I'm that balanced counterpart. But this might also be, this person might already by all means be a King of Pentacles energy, but they just may not have confidence in themselves. They may just have low self-esteem. And so I think what they need to realize is that they're recognizing that the depth of their feelings does have value, but I think they're learning to be patient with themselves as they learn to recognize that they are more worthy. With the Fool in reverse, I think that whoever was the one to maybe push the other away, I think that if that was your crush, I think they're looking at themselves as a bit foolish and recognizing that they need to acknowledge their emotions more, because if not, their emotions will rule them rather than vice versa. And if you're the one that pushed your crush away, I think your crush is recognizing that you are acting from a place of impulsivity and that their feelings run really deep, and I think they know that your feelings run really deep too. So I also think that this person feels like any hardship, your crush feels like any hardship between the two of you, or any wounds that stop them from being vulnerable and authentic with you, they want to end that. They want to fight that and start nurturing themselves and become a more solid version of themselves, so that they can show up in a more authentic and aligned way towards you. Because more than anything, I think your crush sees you as someone that they have a future with, and someone that they want to explore that future with and move forward. I think they're very excited, and I think they're realizing that there's just no one like you. And I think they're realizing that this is something special and not just, another case of lust or infatuation. So let's go ahead now and get some channeled messages from your crush. I will just say, to take what resonates with these. Don't let them take from you. But given the intensity, I'm sure some of these messages will resonate. So, Spirit, what would pile 4's crush say to pile 4? If they could be completely honest, please. What would pile 4's crush say to pile 4? If they could be... Wow, you're getting a lot of soul cards, so that's good. Okay, one more. Okay, what's the bottom of the deck? I have conversations with you in my head. So telepathic communication confirmed, if anyone was curious about that. So let's see what we have here. To start, if I can pick it up, that is. We have, I'm afraid to stray out of my family / society's expectations of me. I feel safer making others happy. So this King of Pentacles in reverse could even be someone that your crush was afraid of disappointing. And with that Temperance card, they may be trying to balance their expectations with their heart's desires as well. We have, I feel your energy around me all the time. I will love you 1,000 lifetimes from now. That's some intense shit. You give me butterflies. Everything has been leading me to you this whole time. It scares me how powerful my feelings are for you. And I need breaks from this connection. The intensity of it can be overwhelming and isolating. So yeah, I definitely think that this person could be taking a break right now if they are, struggling with the energy of this connection. But I'm going to go ahead and finish the free version of this reading off with some advice for you. If you would like to join me in the extended after, that will be linked below. And I will just quickly mention before I do my spiel, that is a great way to support me and my channel. But let's go ahead and start by looking at your advice. So to start, we have the Breathing Rose. Heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. So I feel like what Spirit really wants you to know about this situation is that it's helping you heal your heart, and that, the wounds around this situation will be healed in time. And any wounds that are stopping you from embracing the situation, same with your person, I think will be healed in time. But I think you're also being asked to trust your emotions and the depth of this connection, and that things will get easier as time passes, and you'll understand more as time passes, and you'll also get more clarity. I feel like you're just meant to kind of breathe out and find your calm and sense of peace within all of this kind of craziness. But we also have surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. We also have don't let pride get in your way. So I definitely think that Spirit is asking you not to let your pride or your ego stop you from being authentic with this person, because you may really regret it. We also have manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. And finally, we have service. I feel good when I can help others. And I think one thing you need to know about service is that it's not all about just serving serving others. It's also about serving yourself. And when you serve yourself, you can also serve others. But I think that if you've been focusing a lot on yourself, if you feel like you need to realign yourself with the energy of service, or you haven't been feeling too great, a great way to feel good is to be of service to someone else. And one of the best ways to access infinite abundance is to serve the planet, serve your soul, and serve the humans that also inhabit this planet. So pile 4, I think that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Please go and check out Hermit's video and send her some love if you haven't already. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads or just letting them play in the background. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me and my channel. But if you would like to support me in any other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates, and subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to click that little notification bell anytime I upload a new reading. You can also check out my merch, which is linked below, as well as my social media, which is linked below. Though do be aware, I have tons of scammers pretending to be me, so just know if someone slides in your DMs claiming to be me, just know that that is not me, that is a scammer. I do not have time to text my friends back, let alone offer people personal readings. So just know that if someone is pretending to be me and sliding in your DMs, they're a scammer and a liar, and they're a turd. But that's all I have for you guys, so thank you so much for watching and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!